barrels with, they either camouflage them or they spray paint them black. I don't know if you can actually get them in other colors other than blue. I've only ever seen them in blue. But
you get around. You can get. I get black barrels. Certain chemicals come in black barrels, not necessarily food. White barrels are the semi-translucent white barrels, and blue. Blue is like the most common around here. I got a bunch of those that we get washer fluid in at the dealership, and I know because it's only alcohol and blue dye. And when I get them, I just rinse them out with water really well, and they just smell like plastic again. I use those for my rain barrels.
That's awesome.
I have an announcement. I caught that comment, CR. Strike one. Okay. Go ahead, guys. Strike one, CR.
All right, now I got to go looking for it. What do you say? Oh, inner tube for grip. Nope.
No, I'm digging this whole stream, not HOLE.
Yeah, I'll find it.
Talking about burying caches. I'm digging this hole. Okay. Strike one.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean, you could, if we're talking about recycling stuff, a cache is a good way of making use of old gear, duplicate gear that you've got. And you don't have to bury it in a hole somewhere. You can, like I say, just put it in backpacks. That's the way I used to do it. I used to just build backpacks and give them to friends when we went out camping and stuff, or family members.
Store it in a family member's garage. Store it in a family member's shed. At least if you've got to get out to somebody else's house, you know there's something there, right?
Yeah, it's just like having a grab bag and friends and family's locations that they're there. You could do the same thing.
So what did I miss?
Everything. We're done. So thank you for joining us, everybody. Mike just got here. We're all leaving now.
You were the main topic.
Mike, the topic for today is the zero waste life challenge. What can we save today? Which means recycle or repurpose. So what's your ideas on that, Mike?
I mean, I am the worst recycler ever. I'm the guy with the general waste bin overflowing because I've shoved everything into black bags. But recently I have started separating it out, and I need to do more. So one good thing what my auntie does is we have the what is he? 2-liter milk cartons. So they're almost like a house brick size.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. She saves them, and any other plastic she cuts up, shreds, and fills it, and keeps filling it and keeps filling it and keeps filling it till it's jam-packed tight. She's used them to build the wall around her pond in the garden. Eco bricks.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
Because they're plastic, they're non-biodegradable. They last for ages, and you put them around, and then you can pack them out, put a bit of finishing on them, sort of thing, if you want to plaster or whatever. But that's what she's used as the base of them. So that's a good one to do. And I've recently, I've acquired during the last storms, I acquired a food bin. So. Our councils have the small, it's like this big green bin. It looks like a wheelie bin, but for a miniature person. And I never had one, and I kept pounding them to get one. The last set of storms, one blew right next to my bins and landed. I was like, oh, okay, I'll just leave it there, and I won't touch it for a while. See if anyone comes and claims it. It's been a week. It's now mine. So I'm not going to use it to recycle with the council. I'm going to use it to gather the food in the kitchen to put onto my own composting pile, which I've started in the back.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole starting my garden thing has got me thinking a lot more about the zero waste thing, I must admit.
Good.
So,
I mean, other things that we were talking about upcycling, like, just instead of throwing away the bicycle type of thing, not to keep everything like I was talking about, but just, parts, pieces, things, bed frames are the big one around here, at least for people like me and Bob. And because everybody gets a free bed frame with a mattress and box spring set. Nobody uses it because they have their own custom wood bed frame. So it just sits in a box in the basement somewhere, and eventually they throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
Or they donate it or something. Nobody wants them. But I want it because it's got angle iron in it. It's super strong angle iron. I'll cut the little hinge pins out of it and keep it as just straight angle stock.
Nice. Yeah. That's... The amount we throw away is unreal. is actually unreal. Upcycling's a good one, definitely. I've got a set of a metal set of drawers that I'm wondering how I can make it into a planter at the moment in the garden, rather than getting the scrap man to come and take it. But I was taught from a very early age, whether it's a bad habit or not, is my granddad, any appliance I recycle, sell, get rid of, anything, the plug comes off and lives in my drawer. I've got a drawer full of spare plugs for appliances.
I got more electrical plugs and wires and things, and I've used them.
Yeah.
You know, something burns up or gets, chopped or chewed by a mouse. It's like, great. My wife would be like, oh, I'll just buy another. It's like, hold on, give me this thing. I disappear in the garage for 20 minutes, come back, there's another plug on it. And I know the gauge of the plug needs to be a certain size for certain things like coffee makers and that. You can't use like a little tiny extension cord plug for a coffee maker. It'll burn it up. And I'm just slap it on there and there you go.
I got caught unprepared the other day, completely unprepared. I have boxes upon boxes of light bulbs, and all the light bulbs in my house are bayonet fitting. And the one in the bathroom went that was behind a glass dish. I unscrewed the dish, took it down. Guess what? Not a bayonet fitting, a wide screw fitting. The only bulb I didn't have anywhere in the house. So I went and bought 6. So
No.
A CR has a question, actually.
Yeah.
Could you make a prying tool with a bed frame? Mark or Bob?
You can. It's not as strong as tool steel, but it's stronger than the garbage you buy at the local hardware store.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you could make it into something to be able to pry open a door or something like that. Some kind of an improvised tool. Yeah.
Well, an improvised tool is better than no tool at all.
That's right.
Yep. I mean, I use bed frame pieces in my garden as garden stakes on the corners to hold a fence up. It's an angle iron. Literally, I just take a 6-foot piece of it and just pound it in the ground and keep it relatively straight and throw a couple rocks around it and just tie my chicken wire to it to keep the rabbits out of my garden. It's painted brown, and the edge of it might get rusty, but just the edge of it where I cut it, I don't care. It's steel. It's coated. It'll probably last 20 years out there before it even starts to get weak.
Okay, I've got one for you then. How do I get rid of an abundance of roots under my soil? Like literally a ridiculous amount of roots from I assume
what?
It's from the tree. Well, there was 3 trees there. Now there's only one smaller tree there. I assume it's the leftovers from the stumps that are there, but it's just an abundance. And I mean, without getting
how big are they? Are they just little hair roots everywhere? We're talking like the size of your thumb or your wrist.
From about that size down to the fine hair ones you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, literally, if you want. As long as you're trying to dig it up to make a garden?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you might just be better off going the raised bed route.
Yeah.
And a raised bed doesn't mean you have to bring it up a meter unless you have a bad back or in a wheelchair. You just got to bring it up 30 centimeters, 8 inches. Yeah, that's for he's got them in the ground. So you'd have to dig. He's trying to dig a hole, hitting the roots. Yeah, that's going to be a pain in the butt chopping roots with a chopper while you're trying to dig a hole.
I turned all the soil, and it was an absolute nightmare just to turn the topsoil.
Yeah. It's going to take.
What do you reckon? Just
possibly a network or roots or something.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, once you chop them, once you've cut it, and there's no tree there anymore. Yeah, they'll rot out in a few years. I mean, they'll just turn back into soil, into mulch.
Right.
The real big ones might take a few more years.
I don't have to worry about a random tree popping up from one of them if I put some barge plates in and put some topsoil over.
No. And if you do, you're going to see this little tiny leaf pop up. Just pull it out. Just break it off.
Yeah.
If it has any energy left, it needs to find sun to get more energy. And as soon as you take away that little solar panel, it's done. It might take 1 or 2 times, but don't wait till the thing gets 12 feet tall before you cut it down. As soon as you start seeing little green things pop up that you didn't plant, just nip the leaves off it.
Yeah,
that might take a few times, but and throw some mulch over top of it that keeps the sun off it completely, or some straw. If you got any farms nearby that sell bales of straw, not hay. Hay's more expensive because it's got nutritional value. Just straw.
Well, I
second
killed
cutting.
off everything that was there before because there was lots of these little tiny trees trying to come out. I cut them all down.
Yep.
And I covered the entire garden in like a tarp. I completely covered it, and that was like that for over a month. So when I've pulled it back, everything was dead anyway.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll try raising it.
When we were talking about digging holes earlier, I always come across like tree roots and things like that. The only good thing about tree roots is they don't actually go that deep. A lot of people imagine a tree is like however high it is, the tree roots are kind of going straight down, and they don't
however
do that.
wide it is,
They
that's
go
how
that way. Yeah. So if you can cut your way through like a square of tree roots, no matter how thick they are, even if they're like big, thick, like wrist size or whatever, if you saw your way through those into a square and then just keep digging down, not only will they die, but you'll be clear of them. You'll get past them. That's why a lot of like entrenching tools, like these military style entrenching tools.
Yeah, sharp edge.
They've got very, very sharp edges.
And you can hack away.
Yeah, I mean, this one has this Spetsnaz entrenching tool has literally got a sharpened edge. And of course, people on YouTube will tell you that's for zombies, but in reality, it's for cutting your way through tree branches and things like that.
You clean your tools, man. Clean your tools. What is wrong with you?
It is clean. It's just a little bit of dirt there's nothing,
And only added a few grams to his backpack. He ain't worried about it.
Yeah, that's nothing. But when it comes to rocks, you need to dig that out or use a pickaxe. That's always the bugbearer for me.
Yeah, and if you're really worried about root intrusion going into the garden, if you've already flipped it over and dug it up around the perimeter, stop by. How many places nearby you have like pallet wood? Just pallets outside. I mean, if you can find a bunch of pallets, don't bring home 50 of them at once. Bring home 1 or 2, and they're a pain in the butt to take apart or to bust off. But just either flatten the nails over. I don't even try to push the nails; I flatten them over, and you take the slats and you push them down sideways into the ground about 15, 20 centimeters. Any surface roots will hit the wood and stop.
Yeah.
They won't go any further. So that'll keep your garden area, at least for the first 6-8 inches. And nothing really grows below that anyway, but just for the first 6 inches or so, that just keeps the surface roots from slowly encroaching into your garden. And you get the weeds start popping up just on the other side of it because they made it underneath.
Yeah, and I've looked at pallets, but half the problem around here is you've got to go and pick them up, and I've not got a big enough vehicle at this stage to do that. So I'd get one pallet in with the boot open.
Well, then you get yourself a cordless Sawzall. And you go up there, you just start cutting them apart and throwing the pieces in your trunk.
True.
Or your boot.
True.
You call it a
if
boot.
You don't mind me processing it there, I suppose it'd be all right.
Yeah, a little saw.
Very handy tool. Also, is an electric chainsaw. I've got one over there. I dug out a cherry tree stump with that electric chainsaw.
Yep.
But for Mike, you said you still living in the place where people can overlook down on you. Consider this for if you're going to grow food. Well, like today, I planted some potatoes in a large ceramic pot just to have the plant. I'm not looking at eating them, but consider that you can put food plants in there. And most people, if they see a pot, they're such bobbleheads. Just you just walk past a whole patch of carrots planted in pots, and people don't recognize carrots unless they're in a plastic bag in the supermarket.
Yeah, or they see a garden with rows of different color greens popping up. Then it's like, oh, it's some kind of garden. What kind of food is that? And they start ripping your carrots out, and they're only a 1/4 inch long, and they're just babies. Yeah.
So I've got some schools.
Just consider pots.
I've got some schools of thought. My potatoes are actually in one of the. Have you seen the grow bag things? It's in one of them. My apple tree is in a pot at the moment, so I'm starting with the pot until I get the soil properly. So the pots are already there. But my plan is the main bulk of the garden is going to be food source. Round the outside, so hanging baskets on the side of the fence, and like little ones, toppy areas and stuff, is just going to be brightly coloured, lovely flowers. Yeah. So at a quick glance, it looks like a pretty garden, not a practical garden. You know what I mean? So that's the idea. And then the back wall trellises, and I'm going to get blackberry bushes to run up the trellises, so they get a nice little prickle if they climb over anyway.
I like it.
So yeah, that's the ultimate plan. So I was just in the garden centre today, window shopping.
Yeah, you're going to start to learn how to, like I do, and my wife does. She'll come home with a whole bunch of cuttings in a Ziploc bag, and she hands them to me. She's like, "Here you go." I'm like, "What are they?" She's like, "I don't know, but they're thorny." Okay, and I'll shave a little bit of the green off the bottom, and I'll put them in little pots of water and let them get rooted. And then once they root, I'll stick them in dirt, and now I have whatever that thorny bush was that she liked up at the last place she stayed. She brought a whole bunch home. I'm like, okay, plant, get them rooted up. I got like a 60% success rate out of them, and put them in pots, let them get a little bigger, and stick them outside.
Could I do that with just a branch from a blackberry bush then?
Yeah, you can. Blackberries, blackberry bush you can, unless it's wild blackberry. Those root like they spread like wildfire, like wild raspberries around here. They always grow along the roadside because they like the edge of the woods where it's mostly sunny, but not all the time. And those are root spreaders. You try to pull one up and you're pulling 20 of them up. And they also spread the bird. That's why there's always like wild fruit bushes on the around perimeters of farms and that, because the birds will get seed. They'll eat a berry or something, and then they sit on the fence on the edge of the farm, and that's where they poop. And that's where the seeds pop out and they grow.
Will they only root to their space? So if I did put blackberries across the back wall, but they were in pots, not in the main soil, would they just root to the space?
Oh yeah, they'll just fill up your pots with roots. Yeah, and then you trim them down in the fall, and that way all the nutrients are back in the roots again. All the energy is down below. You just don't want them to freeze. But I don't think you get long-term. Do you get long-term winters there where it gets really cold?
Not freezing below freezing temperatures for more than a day or two. It's never usually a protracted spell.
Yeah, you should be okay. Yeah, because you don't want a small pot because then the roots freeze and it dies.
Right. Okay.
So,
just some friendly advice for you, Mike. Look up. There's good videos on YouTube about
propaganda.
What not to plant.
Oh yeah.
Like wisteria,
bamboo.
Bamboo. Yeah. There's a whole plethora of plants that, oh gosh, it looks beautiful. Yeah.
And it takes over your yard.
You're never gonna get rid of it. When I moved into this place, it had that damn morning glory ivy and English ivy. Don't plant anything like that because you'll never get rid of it. Yeah.
And that stuff goes through walls and into your house.
Oh hell yeah. It goes into your plumbing.
Grows like wildfire.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had it on our house where I grew
wildfire too.
I dealt with Japanese knotweed when I was in Wales.
Oh,
that was fun. That was fun. You think you've killed it, and it pops up over there, and it's like whack-a-mole with plants.
Yeah, Mike? Are you allowed to have one of those little chimenea things? Everybody sits on the patio and has the little fire and the little metal fire pan pit. Are you allowed to have those there?
Yes.
So use that and get one or make one or whatever, and just sit outside and just sit there and slowly feed in all your branches and yard waste and stuff. And when it's done, when it's burned out, you sprinkle all that stuff in your garden.
Yeah.
Or straight on the soil.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Just
throw it out in the grass.
Just throw it in the grass, throw it out, but I'd throw it in your garden area. And that's potassium. That's potash. Nice. And throw that in there, and the rain will bring it down through. Plus, it helps hold certain parts that didn't burn turn right to ash. The little charcoal bits, they'll hold water and moisture and nutrients in that for a while. So I do. That's what I do in my gardens. I have a burn barrel. We were talking about it earlier. I only burn yard waste, no plastics, no treated wood, and I just sprinkle it all over my garden.
Yeah, I've got a shallow like fire pit, like almost for like pleasure, sitting out there with a little fire sort of thing.
You sit out and you can roast. The kids can roast marshmallows, and when it's all done, dump it in your garden.
But for 20 quid at the local garden centre, they have what is essentially looks like an old school metal trash can with the holes drilled in, and then it's got a funneled top,
a burn barrel.
And it's just it's just an incinerator sort of thing.
Yeah,
so,
are you allowed to have that there?
You are. I think I have no idea. I have to look into this a bit more
You
because as
just
far
have
as
to
I
be
know,
careful what you throw in there. You probably have too much smoke coming out of it. You're going to piss off the neighbors.
I'm going to piss off the high rise that's going to get eaten all.
Yeah. Do it at night if you do it at night, they can see the flame. They'll call the fire department on you.
Yeah.
I'll look into it first.
When I live in the suburbs too, Mike. And whenever I want to burn something, I wait till the neighbors are at work and I just light it up. Then nobody gives a damn, you know.
I've always done common courtesy. I've always looked out, and if the neighbour's got the sheets hanging up on the washing line, I'll wait. If there's no washing hanging up, I'll do the barbecue.
And do like all the hedge trimmings and the bushes and the small branches and that. Just throw them in a barrel or throw them in I have a metal barrel. I have 2 of them, but I'll throw them in one metal barrel, put the lid on it, and just let them dry out. Because if you burn them green, they smoke real bad.
Yeah.
If you let them dry out for like a month or 2 in the barrel and it's getting hot in the sun by me all the time, I throw them in the fire. I get like no smoke. It's just flames.
Oh, nice.
And it burns down quick. So
I'm gonna pull up my notepad and start making notes.
Yeah. Fire charcoal or not charcoal, fire ash right through the garden. Just don't pile it up in one spot. Just spread it around and let the rain do its thing, and then spread more if you have to, if you want to, if you got more.
Oh, I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, no problem. I'm going and get me some more coffee. I'll be back.
Okie dokie.
Everyone's leaving.
Everyone's
time for an infomercial.
Break time. I'm about ready to run out to my truck and get my case of water out there. I left
the stream going and I'll be back.
Yeah, we'll keep it going. Shadow Streams sponsored by Moose Juice. Get your Moose Juice.
Wait, where's that meme of Al and I made and put up there of I finally ate the something? I forget what I.
Yeah, the maggot cheese.
Yeah, I finally ate maggot cheese.
It's high on my list. Tell you what, Mike. Though, see if you're talking about planting like random bright flowers and stuff like that, you can get lots of edible ones. It's just like a dual use.
Yeah,
I don't know like a huge list of them, but there are like I'm sure there's a list somewhere. Maybe ChatGPT would give you a list, but
I'm ordering this cola herb that somebody mentioned on the stream the other day. It has to be done. Yeah,
it tastes like Pepsi. You're gonna sell it to Brian?
It generally does. Apparently, it tastes like the fizzy cola bottle sweets. It's called the cola plant.
Samphire.
Artemisia arbiturnum. Yeah, it's a herb. It's an actual herb. It's called Coca-Cola. Artemisium arbitorium. So yeah, you can get it quite cheap, and I'm going to try it because if it works, then when Brian's Pepsi run out, I'll have him as my bitch during SHD.
There you go. It's not just rename it the Diet Pepsi plant.
I want to get it purely just out of curiosity. I can't imagine because I've got the usual I've got mint, I've got parsley, I've got all sorts of different herbs growing sort of thing, but to have something that's cola, tastes like cola, I just think that how awesome would that be throwing a bit of that in some rice pudding, just making a whole new dish. It's just
yeah, Coca-Cola rice pudding. Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, actually, it sounds kind of good, except for the Coca-Cola part with the. That's there you go. Apocalyptic fast food or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at my farm store the other day looking for something, and they have all their plants outside and little mini dead like dwarf trees. I'm like, I'm not spending $50 on a dwarf apple tree. I want a regular apple tree, and they had these things called Nanking cherries, and it's a bush, but it's a cherry tree. But the cherries don't hang off of it. They actually grow right off the stem. And these things, they were only $15 a piece. I got 2 of them, and they're like 3 feet tall when I bought them with the leaves on it, and they already had flowers, and I got little cherries already for them. And I'm like, I haven't even taken them out of their plastic pot yet. They're just sitting here on my deck. And that and two some kind of blueberry plant and bush, and they got like 1,000 flowers on them each right now. I'm like, oh hell yeah, I'll get fruit out of these first season. They're not even in the ground yet.
That's
what's that?
all. That's all that The fertilizer that I make right here in my shop out of recycled paper and coffee grounds and all that. That's all I use to fertilize this ground. And this is mostly white Dutch clover that I threw. You can eat it. That's food. That's all food right there.
Yeah.
You get it?
Just watch out where the dog is.
Yeah. Well, if it gets really desperate, the dog's on the plate anyway. So.
Yeah, well,
It'll seize on the dog.
I will.
Your wife is Filipino, so no, I'm just kidding.
Well, I ain't kidding you, man. If things get desperate, yeah, guess what? You know, kitty cats. I will freaking eat them. I will. But yeah, that's recycled fertilizer.
Yeah, your coffee grinds and cardboard
grounds grows that stuff that fast. It just,
Nice. I've started collecting the coffee grounds. Yeah.
Yeah, I do that.
Do that. Yeah.
Yep. They say they're like, oh, they're like, the used coffee grinds are great. It helps add acid to your soil. Actually, no, it doesn't. If you need acidic, like for blueberries, love acidic soil. If you need acidic soil, no, don't use used coffee grind. There's a little bit of acid in there. No, regular coffee grinds have a lot of acid in them, but you're kind of wasting coffee on your plants and not drinking it. But I have a French press. I use it every day. And when I'm done, I add a little bit of water to it, swirl it around, dump it in my stainless bucket. And when that gets full with everything else, all my my food waste, I go up and dump it in my barrel, spin it around a couple times. And my garden the worms love it.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. I'm going to, she's going to hate it, but I'm going to be doing loads.
Hey, I was watching a couple of videos the other day about, not propagating, where you have like one tree, like an ornamental cherry tree, and then but you can get your hands on some cherry tree stems, first year growth, and there's a way to cut it just right and get the cambium to match up, and you just poke a little slice in the side of a regular cherry tree, stuff it in there, and tape it down, and out of that ornamental cherry, choke cherry, whatever, which is in the same genus, you'll have a regular cherry tree branch growing out of it that will give you cherries. So, and my wife knows, next time we go apple picking or pear picking or whatever, oh yeah, I'm bringing my snippers with me. When I take a couple of those pears, I'm taking some of the branch with me.
That's the big one that's in the garden. It's a non-edible cherry tree.
Yeah. So if you can find somebody nearby, one of your local farms that has cherry trees, and a lot of, I don't know how many places do it there, like the you pick, they just give you a basket, you pay for it, you go out there, bring a little pair. Don't take huge swaths of branches with them, off their tree, but cut a good 6-inch piece off, and there's videos on how to trim it off of one tree, and how to grafting and how to graft it onto another tree. You'll literally have you can eventually cut all in the fall when all the leaves fall off. You cut the tree pretty much mostly down, but you leave the root stock, and then you graft on all these other cherry branches in the early spring. So as all the energy, all the sap's coming up from the root system, going like, hey, I got all this energy. What am I doing with it? Well, throws it right into that, and you will get whatever cherry you grafted onto there. Nice. It's really cool. It's a really cool science.
It's a whole new meaning to tree surgeon, right?
Oh yeah, you can literally take, if you have like a crabapple tree, and my neighbor has one. I'm dying to just cut it. But if you have a crabapple tree, because crabapples have great root stock, super strong roots, and but if you cut the tree down and you have like 3 or 4 different varieties of apple stems, you can graft all of them in. You could have one root with 5 different apples growing off of it. I mean, there's some, just look up apple tree grafting on YouTube. They go on and then pick your fruit. Like nice. Pears, we got these crappy ass fast growing, I forget not Bartlett pear. It's an ornamental pear tree. They're crap. They're weak. They break all the time. But because it's in the pear genus, my neighbor has a pear tree. And I missed it. He was trimming off a whole bunch of the growth from last year to make it like an umbrella. And if I had known that, I'd have gone over there and grabbed all his trimmings, and I'd have cut most of this tree down and just grafted on his pear. I'd have his pear growing in my yard. It's a clone.
Nice.
Rhubarb. I want to throw this in there. Rhubarb. I don't eat it. I've got about half a dozen rhubarb plants. I don't eat it. It's a beautiful ornamental plant.
It can also take over.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
not well. No. I've never
can.
seen it take over. But compost. Holy mama! When you get a mature rhubarb plant, I don't eat it. I just pull it out, hack it and throw it into the grass, run it over. I mean, it's just the most incredible amount of compost. I don't eat it.
Yeah.
Just throw it out there and let it go right back into the soil. I suppose it could go. I don't know. Usually, as long as it stays inside of one bulb, it's
we had a
fine.
place in the northeast, and there was a small patch of rhubarb in the garden.
Uh-huh.
The garden wasn't segmented off in any way. It was one big garden, but this patch was in the corner. Within 6 months, it was half of the garden was rhubarb. It was just,
It just kept going. Yeah.
That could be its own problem. I have because I got 15 acres at the property. A lot of it's in a low area where it's sort of swampy in most of the year. It does dry out a little bit, but it's always wet down there because it's just above stream level, so the water from the mountains settle into the valley right in my property. And there's a lot of things I want to plant out there. I just got to clear out a bunch of junk. And rhubarb's one of them. I could plant it there and just let it go. I don't care. Just take over. I'll have rhubarb everywhere. That's fine. There's nothing else grows down there. So anything that'll grow in a wet area, I'll load it up. I know my property would be great for fruit trees because especially pears have a tap root. They go straight, or peaches, they go down.
You don't make a little rice paddy out of it?
Yeah, I could, I guess. Actually, I'm going to be going down there with the bucket loader when I get the gardens going out there, and I'm going to be stripping the mud. I want the mud. That is like wicked nutritional mulch dirt. And bring it up top and just spread it out, let it dry out, and I can put it in my gardens. And it's got all the stuff from decades of things rotting down there.
Yeah.
I get my own natural fertilizer right off the land.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, I'm going to hit a lot of learning curves over the next 6 months, I imagine, but it should be fun.
You're going to fall into rabbit holes like I did. Everybody does to a point. Just start watching stuff and don't get hooked into one thing too much. Venture out a little bit and look at other stuff and be like, oh, like the grafting thing absolutely intrigues me.
That sounds really cool.
Even propagating, I got the elderberries. There was an elderberry bush behind my campsite when I went to the food summit in June last year. Tammy from Rebel Canners was there, and she never met her before. She says hi and walks right past me, right to the edge of the campsite where these elderberries are growing. And she whips out a pair of nippers. She's nipping off flowers. I'm like, what is that? She's like, elderberry. I'm like, oh, can I root that? She's like, oh yeah. So I took a bunch of just short, like 6-8 inch pieces of clippings with the leaves on them. And I threw them in a Ziploc bag, brought them home, threw them in water. They rooted. I threw them in pots. Now I got elderberries growing.
Nice.
I didn't have to buy them.
Nice.
So
it's amazing how many things. It's amazing how many things you can get like that you'd pay $10, $15, $20 for at a garden place. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's reasons you pay more. A lot of like the apple. Like if you take a peach seed, and I have a bunch of peach seeds that I plant, one of them grew. Now, will it have strong root system? I hope so. But what they do is they'll take a peach tree that has a super strong root system, and they'll let it grow for like a year or two to get a good, like 2-3 centimeter stalk on it. And they'll take another peach tree that has weak roots, and they'll cut it off above ground level, and they'll graft it on there, wrap it up, so you have good root stock and a really good peach. And that's why most of these fruit trees you look at the store, if you look carefully, right where it's at the soil level, there's like a bulge there in the bark. That's where it was grafted last year.
Yeah.
So, and you can do that. You don't have to do it at a rootstock. You can do it in the middle of the tree. You can do it on a branch. And my gardener did that the other day. I was like, oh my God. He was doing a guerrilla grafting, he calls it. I thought it was funny. He walked around some of the city parks that had like these crappy ornamental pears and crabapple trees. And he just nipped a little piece off, brought some branch stock with it, and he trimmed it down on the spot and wrapped a special tape around it that biodegrades in about a year. It disappears. And he's like, now I can walk through this park, and there's gonna be crab apples growing all over this tree, and Macintosh growing on this one branch. Just walk
Like
by
a-
and pick an apple.
A sort of strange Frankenstein type tree. A lot of
Yeah.
I've got a couple of acer trees in my garden, which you can see that they've been grafted, and they actually, when you buy them, they have like a blue dye on the area where the graft is taking place, and then
Yeah, do not put dirt above that line. Yep.
Yeah, they've done something in order to do it, but it's quite interesting.
Mhm.
Actually, Mike, you should check out Alan Titchmarsh has got a YouTube channel. You know, the TV.
All
garden.
right, yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's pretty interesting actually, because I'm not much of a gardener either, but I was watching his videos yesterday, and he does a thing where it's like, do these 5 things in April, and he's talking about propagating seeds, you know, from like growing them from one place, and then you put them in, like, he does it very cleverly. He shows you the best way to grow it, and he does it month by month, so he tells you what to do. You know,
So
every
yeah,
month.
so you can follow along with it a bit more.
Yeah.
That's I,
I
like
mean,
that. I'll have a
he
look at
doesn't he doesn't buy many plants because he has this greenhouse and he has the skill to be able to do everything we're talking about here. You know, so like
I
the
got
top
cherry
gardeners,
seeds in my fridge right now.
yeah, they're not buying all the plants. They're just propagating them themselves. And that Alan Titchmarsh videos, they're pretty good actually. He's a famous guy, but his YouTube channel's not very big. But I'm sure it will be soon. But
Yeah.
you know.
I'll have a look. Awesome. I've got a zero waste one for SHTF. Probably is not something you want to practice now, but is anyone going to be saving their urine for washing the sheets?
No, mine's garden food.
So if you basically, it's from Roman times. If urine, if you left to ferment, basically becomes ammonia, which will degrease stuff. It'll remove stains. It'll clean, and that's how they used to wash like sheets and stuff like that. And you could get your white with urine. So there you go.
Fermented urine.
There's an option for fermenting your own urine in SHTF. Video
Alrighty.
coming soon, much to Mrs. Urban Prepper's dismay.
different kind of fermented fluid. Don't drink it. You're not going to get drunk.
Yeah, yeah.
Drink it before I guess I've never done it, but I hear you can.
Having that smell around would be pretty offensive to the wife. You know, like, ooh, you know.
Yeah. Who forgot to change the cat litter box? Wait a minute. We don't have a cat. Mike.
Yeah.
Your pea pot's stinking again. Put it outside.
Well, I'm looking to get a corked glass bottle that I can gather some in, and then try it and see how long it lasts, and then I will attempt to wash, I don't know, a pair of socks in it, and we'll see if I'm walking around with pea smelling socks or if it works. We'll test it.
Yeah, I think with any kind of fermenting, you can't seal it. It needs to breathe. That's why when you ferment pickles and
I just meant while it's in the house in the bathroom. I don't want to. It's not breathing in the bathroom. I'll take it outside to do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say gotta watch out. It's gonna start to ferment in the bathroom. You're gonna hear this pop sound in the middle of the night and get this odor and go.
As if preppers
Just
don't
a
have a bad
pee
enough
explosion.
reputation.
Yeah, now we're saving our pee and
Now you're
fermenting it.
collecting urine in jars.
To what? To make my sheets whiter and brighter.
Yeah.
Listen, it worked so well in Roman times, and it was a lucrative business that they even started taxing it. They taxed Romans. So there you go.
They taxed everything in Rome as the
Daz
money
fabric
collapsed.
softener.
Yeah, but there's no one's going to be making fabric softener after 6 months of SHTF. You've got to
Well,
think of these things.
It will definitely work because weirdly I've looked into this before as well, and they definitely did it up until not even beyond Roman times. They did it in probably talking 15th century, 16th century. They would do it then as well, and urine's been used as a dye in a lot of places as well. And it's got lots of other uses actually. Urine, weirdly enough, in survival, although not for what Bear Grylls.
Just not drinking. I was going to say, don't drink it like Bear
I
Grylls.
don't recommend drinking it. No.
I guess that brings new definition to the phrase. I don't have a pot to piss in.
Yeah. You can use it to whiten your teeth.
Because they're all full.
Can you use it to whiten your teeth?
Urine, that too. Yeah, that they did a long time ago. They would use urine, but remember that it's acidic. I wouldn't do it every day. you know, because you
And,
see
and
a
I would
enamel off
I would
the
also say you're probably better off using your own.
teeth. Mhm.
I'm going to
Yeah.
be washing a few bits of clothes in it once it's fermented. All right. If she sees me start brushing my teeth with it, she's going to leave. She's going to
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah. You need to go
This
see
is great,
somebody.
love. Kiss a
Uh-huh.
kiss.
Mhm.
The
It's a
problem is
conversation you're having.
the problem is when you start researching this on Google, on the internet, you know, you start seeing some crazy stuff. You know,
Oh yeah.
all the different things you can do with urine.
I'm
That's
on a
a
deep
rabbit hole.
dive. I'm on a deep dive at the moment because I've always prepped based around like Amish paradise kind of thing, you know, and no electricity. But I'm on a deeper dive now into historic stuff. At the same time as researching on one screen, I'm watching the whole series of North and South again on the other screen and stuff like that. And I'm just getting literally, I'm going to go deep into the historical side of prepping and stuff like that because I think we need to learn from that if that's the situation we're going to be thrown into overnight.
Look into the
So we
past.
could
is usually
safely
always
say
the
you're
best thing.
we could safely say Mike is about to deep dive into pee.
Yeah. The thing, I mean, most of the things have been discovered, so it's always better to look to the past, especially when you're talking about self-sufficiency, because you know people had solutions for most of the problems we have. The technology already existed. They had a local solution for the problem.
We've just
You know?
forgotten it.
We've
We've
forgotten it.
forgotten
And
about it. Yeah.
It's like a lot of the survival type stuff I research. I always like it's easy to do if you just know where to look, because all you do is, well, how did somebody in my country in the 12th century make a tarp if they didn't have access to, you know, modern
Amazon.
materials? Amazon. How did they make a tarp? How did they waterproof their clothing? How did they wash their clothing? How did they make soap? And see, when you start looking at the historical type stuff of how they made soap in the 12th century or something, well, it's usually a local there's a local resource. You know, that's
the Viking soap. I've been looking at
called
soap recently.
beef lard and wood ash.
Yeah.
They make lye. That was lye soap was the only soap they had until people started adding odors and dyes and things to it and adding more chemicals. But yeah,
at least I'll get there, Grumpy, without having to spend £3,000 on a tank of diesel, which it'll cost by then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or if I had land, the first thing I would have is horses. I'm sorry, the first thing I would have is horses. Love horses.
I'm gonna bounce out of here, guys. I'm still
Okay, Bob.
a little bit jet laggy from
Laggy.
jet lag. Yeah, a little bit. And a sinus
Actually,
infection thing.
I'm gonna mute out for a minute. I gotta run out to my truck. I'll be right back. I'll talk to you later, Bob.
Okay, Mark.
Gotta go.
Cheers, Bob. Nice to see you.
Good night.
see ya.
Right. Yeah, so the deep dive is gonna produce some interesting prepping. I still want to do that thing, Alan. We need to pick a period and go out into the woods.
Yeah. I mean, it's you would have to pick. It depends on the period. I mean, that's the interesting thing. You have to pick a period that's the stuff that you would need is sort of available now.
Well, you can get everything now. If you look at like reenactors stores and stuff like that. I've currently on my Vinted, I've got favorited some Civil War clothing, which is really thick wool clothing, similar material to this.
Yeah.
Which wool clothing, warm in the winter, cool in summer, and it keeps you warm even when it's wet. So it's great. Yeah, if I can get a good set of like trousers for that, that would be my SHTF clothing over Levi's any day.
Yeah, wills are pretty interesting material. I mean, even see if you look at the old kilts and stuff that they used to use, a proper wool kilt, a big kilt, they're called. It's actually a fantastic resource. I mean, they used it as a blanket, a tarp, clothing. You know,
it was just a huge bolt of cloth, though, right? It wasn't like hemmed and stitched like
that's a I mean, see the modern kilts. Everybody thinks that's like an ancient thing. It's not. That was invented fairly recently, actually, like a 19th
Mike,
century.
you mean the homespun?
It was just the material, just purely the
cut.
material. Whereas modern, if you go buy a kilt for your wedding now, it'll have an elasticated waistband. It'll be pleated. It'll be and stuff like that. It's completely different. It was just like a bolt of cloth that they'd wrap it round in a certain way, right?
Yeah, it was quite big as well. It's quite large. There's lots of. They're kind of expensive though. You have to sort of look to see where they are. But because I've always wanted to do some sort of survival-y type things based around that. There's actually a YouTube channel that already exists. I can't remember the name of it, but there's a Scottish guy who
I've seen him. Seen him. Yeah,
he shows you all the kind of stuff that you can do with different periods in Scottish history, with kilts and stuff like that. So I don't want to copy. I don't want to do something that's already done. But
is he the guy that was showing how difficult it was to survive in the Highlands sort of thing? But he was running around in the full regalia kind of thing as well.
Yeah. For different. He does it for different periods as well. So he'll talk about like the 17th century, and then he'll talk about the 13th century and things like that. Kilts didn't actually really exist past. Like see Braveheart, William Wallace. William Wallace never wore a kilt because they didn't exist. Kilts didn't exist until long after him. So they used something different before that. Still interesting though. And wool's an incredible material.
Yes, I think that's the one that they're on about, Caroline. I'm just looking at him now. That's the guy that I saw.
Yeah, it probably is. Great. Yeah. It's a really, really cool channel. Yeah, I've seen it. I've binge watched a few of his things over the years.
Yeah, 371,000 subscribers. That's awesome.
That's a lot of subscribers.
You gotta, but he keeps up with the content. That's the main thing. 5 years, 2 years. Where's his latest one? He is still going, isn't he? 4 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite niche as well. I think he really just focuses on that one area, that genre. He doesn't really divert too much from it, I don't think. But
I was looking at, so basically I've been looking at because I used to do American Civil War reenacting. That was like 1860s. Yeah. And looking at what they had for campaigns. So the backpack had hardtack in, salted beef. They'd have a bedroll, which was a blanket. They'd have a canvas pup tent, a small little canvas pup tent sort of thing. No poles or anything like that. You just acquired sticks wherever you were, kind of thing, and you made your bed out of whatever materials you could. So I want to put together a kit like that and see how that goes.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool idea. It would probably give you a much deeper appreciation for the actual how hard it is to actually use an item like that, especially the heavier weight stuff. Because we've came a long way with weight reduction and stuff like that. But
we have, but I think part of me is not just doing it as to see, oh, this is how hard it was in the day. I want to look at it and think what aspects of it are practical going forward if there was zero power. If we're talking, let's say, 12 months into an SHTF scenario, some of the stuff they had is much more hardware than any clothing you'll buy from Primark or anything like that. So it's kind of a test of what's practical out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's like a canvas tarp will last longer than a modern Gore-Tex tarp, but it weighs 20 times more.
That's why it was the tiny little single man pups, because you could roll them up and it wasn't all that much, And the shoes were like leather brogues with a horseshoe as the heel, kind of practically, which were hard wearing, but by no means comfortable.
Yeah. There's a lot on the bushcraft side of stuff. To me, that's what bushcraft is, which is more. They're not worried about hiking. They're not too worried about weight, but they use traditional type items. Lots of leather, lots of canvas, lots of wood. To use things. Lots of natural resources. You don't see any, fabrics that are made of plastics and things like that in the bushcraft world.
No Temu specials.
No. You can. I tell you what, you can get some proper snobbish bushcrafters as well that are like hardcore. If it's not if it's not something completely natural and organic that you can make in the woods and is finely crafted by a craftsman, they won't use it. They won't carry it. And but it's beautiful. See, proper bushcrafters. I'm not a proper bushcrafter, but having proper bushcraft gear is a beautiful item. I mean, see this little leather pouch, this little Ramir's leather pouch. This is a beautiful item, right?
Yeah.
Because this was handcrafted by a man. A man made this completely by hand. It's 100% leather, and it's got a brass buckle. And I mean,
so Weapon Collector made that for my EDC carry, which is just, I mean, it's a work of art, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you appreciate stuff like this when you get it, and it lasts a lifetime. That's the thing, as long as you look after it a little bit. But see, in theory, you could pass this down to your children, and it just goes on forever. I mean, archaeologists still dig up leather items like this.
Yeah,
hundreds of years after they found themselves in a bog or something like that, and it's preserved. I can guarantee all the modern stuff, the modern equivalent of this, like a Maxpedition pouch or something, you're not finding that 200 years from now. You're not passing that down to your
you might find a little bit of the button or the clasp, and that's about it.
I mean, the problem with it is, though, when you start going into the craft sides of stuff like this, it gets expensive. So I mean, this is like £100.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because a man made it, so you have to be willing to pay for it.
Yeah, or willing to learn the skill.
Yeah, or get into leathercraft, which is something I did a tiny little bit of and then regret not keeping up with, because you can make some really beautiful things with leather, and it's a great skill to have. And especially if you know how to acquire the leather yourself as well, via tanning and things like that, you're onto a winner there, because you can go down some serious long-term rabbit holes of self-sufficiency when you know how to do that. If you know how to process, get an animal, take the hide, process it, make leather from it, make goods from it. That's basically how our ancestors did that forever.
Yeah, definitely. It's a rabbit hole, but I've got over 1,000 videos on the channel. I've ran out of modern crap to do, so I'm just gonna jump into history now.
Jump into history.
I don't want to repeat content, so why not? But it's I think
wait till you start figuring out how to do the grafting. You're going to be doing guerrilla grafting out in the woods. Alan will start doing that.
Guerrilla grafting.
Yeah, keep it near your just find whatever kind of tree it is that is in the same genus as an apple, pear, cherry, something, and find one of those trees, or plant a crappy one that you picked up cheap at the store. Plant it out in the woods, let it get a little bigger, and graft on some other types of apples on it. So at least next year, you might, if you have to go out there and it's that time of year, you might have an apple or two growing, as long as the deer don't get them. Deer love them. So,
well, I might, I'm going to explore that definitely, but it'd be interesting to see if you could cross species it as well. Here's my apple tree with oranges, bananas.
So citrus and bananas won't grow on it, but
tree.
You might
that
be able
would
to
be
get
an interesting tree.
Yeah, you might be able to get pears, cherries, and apples to grow on the same rootstock.
Yeah.
You just got to pick which rootstock it is, because it may or may not work.
It's a fine line between a well-grafted tree and an abomination to God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've grafted 10 different things to it.
the video introduction
go
is,
out to the
guys, look
tree
what I made, as he gets hit by a bolt of lightning.
Hey, honey, run out to the tree and go pick us some fruit salad. Don't forget the pineapples grown off the rose bush.
Nice. I'm not a bushcrafter, but I've been in the bush and I do like to craft. Well, there you go. See ya.
There you go. It is keeping and keeping with the topic a little bit. But making your own stuff. I mean, even if that's repairing your own clothes and learn how to do that, that's another forgotten art as well. People used to repurpose clothing. I don't just mean hand downs. They would have a jacket or something, and then they would repurpose it into something else, rather than go buy another jacket.
We're a throwaway nation. We're a throwaway world now. When's the last time somebody darned some
Good
socks?
to see you.
You know what I mean? Darning socks was just a common thing around the fire. You'd be sewing up the holes in your socks and get another 6 months out of them kind of thing. But now it's like when Sports Direct sell you a pack this big for $5, it's like they become a throwaway commodity. You know what I mean?
£5 for a pound. £5 for a pound.
Yes, that's it.
Hello, everybody.
Hey,
Hello,
man.
Zia.
Hi, Mike, Alan, Shadow,
How's it going?
Mr. Bacon Dude. I mean,
Mr.
Bacon Guy.
You sound like you're in the woods or something. Are you walking around the park or something? I can hear
No, I'm
dogs.
just outside.
Oh.
I'm outside too, but I'm on a headset, so I don't know if you can hear the background bird chirping in my ear here.
Yeah.
No.
So,
No, I
okay.
hear birds here, Mark, so I can't
Well,
tell. I
It's
hear
too
birds
cold
here.
for you there for birds.
Oh, well, we got snowbirds.
Yeah, we get
Okay,
we get
never mind.
we get snowbirds in Florida, but they always go back home when the when summer hits.
So darn, I missed everything you guys were talking about. That's all I heard
No,
when
you-
I jumped in.
Oh, you were here in the beginning.
And he's
Well, but I
just
didn't hear
doing,
the
he's
last
just
5 minutes.
doing all darn because I said darning socks. He's just being CR. That's all he's
Yeah,
doing.
CR
It
was-
seems like it. It seems like it.
CR is out in the bush right now doing arts and crafts, so he is crafting in the bush.
I don't want to know what CR's
yeah.
doing in the bush.
Yeah.
I really don't want to know what CR's doing in the
I
bush.
don't know what kind of craft he's doing either.
Yeah,
but,
I'll show you guys.
In an actual bush, just in the park.
Oh, there we go. It's not
Yeah,
the
too bad
bush,
it's white.
it's snow. That's the snow
This
bush.
is real snow.
There's something wrong with your grass. It's white.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
It's greener on the other side.
Oh, there you go.
It usually is.
Anyways. Oh yeah, hey, so yeah, Mike. Yeah, I've seen that. A lot of people don't know how to make repairs, even though it's like not so bad of a let's say a straight rip, right? Let's say jeans or something like that, right? Not too difficult, right? If you think about it, right? But people are like, whatever.
Oh,
it's cheaper
I'll
to
just
buy
buy
a new one.
I'll just put another $60
cheaper
on a
to
new
buy a
pair
new-
of jeans. Why not?
Yeah, or it's cheaper to buy a new one or something like that. Unfortunately, sometimes it's not that people don't want to repair things; it's the parts that you have to buy. Right? It's more
I don't think
expensive.
it's ever cheaper to buy new clothes than repair clothes. It's time.
Yeah,
People
it's
don't
time.
think they have time, but they've got time to binge watch a series on Netflix, but they don't have time to sew up that tiny little seam hole in the right hand side
While
of their
they're
jeans
watching Netflix.
while they're watching it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's just like yeah. And usually it's not too difficult. I mean, sometimes it can be challenging for repairing or mending, but sometimes it's just like a little cut or whatever, right? Rip, and with some needle and thread, you can do it.
My gran used to do it with everything. The amount of pairs of jeans I had with different coloured denim patches on, because or once I was getting a bit older and into some music, it was like, oh, I've ripped my jeans. Next morning, I'd wake up and there'd be Michael Jackson's Bad album cover stitched onto my hole where the jeans were. I'm like, okay, cool. I've got Michael Jackson jeans. That'll do.
Well, that's how you hatch.
That's it.
That's how you hatch.
Yes, she was. It was always done. I mean, saying that, my grandma also used to recycle birthday cards and stick little bits of cardboard over the names and write somebody's new name on it. It was great when you got a card. When you got a card, you got to find out the history because you'd peel off your name and this was originally to Phyllis from Susan.
That's funny.
This as well with the like I did a couple of videos about a jacket I've got. I've got this M65 jacket. It's like the old school American military jackets. I love that jacket, but it's like years old now. It's like 5-6 years old, and it's 100% cotton. And the last video I did about it, I was saying, it's lasted much longer than I thought. I think I'll maybe get another one and things like that. Somebody left in the comments, have you ever thought about, because it's made of 100% cotton, have you ever thought about waxing it and making it into a wax jacket? I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. So, like, I've not done it yet, but I've got the natural beeswax and I've got the oil that I'm going to add to it, and I'm going to wax that jacket. And I'm going to
make it water resistant.
Make it water resistant.
when he watches the wrong tutorial and he pulls up his jacket and it's all red like a baby bell covered in wax.
Well, hey,
Yeah, right?
I tell you what,
I can just
it
picture
might,
that.
it might entirely go to hell. It might I'm going to start tonight actually making this. It's going to be like I'll put the whole thing from beginning to
Have you
end.
got have you
Yeah,
got
make a
something
video.
that's not as have you got something that's not as good made of 100% cotton that you can try it on, like a piece of material?
Like
you know
a-
what I
like
mean?
a
That would
prototype.
be a good idea.
just to test? Just
Just to
see if I
test
can
before
make
you wreck the jacket
Do you know
that you
what?
fell in love with over 4 years.
the jacket is at a point where I'm thinking, you know what? It doesn't matter if I completely make a mess of it anyway, because it's seen its life out. It's had a good life.
You'll still
Um,
cry when it happens, though.
I would still cry. I genuinely love that. Weirdly enough, lots of other people. It's got a bit of a cult following as well, because I thought I was the only one that really loved those jackets, but it's like my most watched video. It has like whole sites and stuff, fans of these kind of products. But you can make a cotton jacket into a waterproof, more hardy, more ready to use in the outdoors jacket. I'll give it a try, and I tell you what, see if I screw it up, I'll keep it in the video.
Well, Hey, Alan, if you screw up,
That's the
remember
way.
you can always make charcloth after, right? You can
Well,
always
yeah,
still make
I-
that charcoal.
I'll
Charcoal,
do
yeah,
something with
cotton
it.
with wax. It's a great fire starter. Be
You
careful
can't-
around
you
a
Yeah,
can't
all right.
get him-
If
you
anything,
can't get him
if
to
anything.
make car cloth out of his jacket that he loves. Every time he's out in the wild and he has to make a fire, he'll be crying.
You
Feeling a
can
little
always
bit off.
remember it.
Peeling a little bit off.
Oh, excellent. No, that's cool. I mean, I love you pay a fortune for proper waxed jackets, though, like country wear kind of stuff.
Do you know?
You pay
I've
a
only,
fortune for it. So
I've
if it
only-
works well, I'd be interested. Very interested.
I've only got 2 waxed products. I've got a Barbary hat, a waxed cotton hat, which came that way. You bought it that way, and I've also got one of those trench coat type things that randomly I had a voucher for,
Like
and
a
I bought
duster.
it. Yeah, it's one of the. You look like you should be carrying. You look like death carrying one of those big things when you walk
Scythe.
around. Yeah, it looks like a horror movie or something. But weirdly, I had a voucher for it, and it was at that store Bushwear that you visited in Stirling. That's where I
Yes,
got it.
yeah.
I was like, you know what, I'll get it and maybe I'll use it. I've never wore it. It's in that cupboard because it does look a bit weird. But I think, if I can wax my own jacket, my own clothing, that would be
cool.
That would be cool because, and it's much cheaper to do this. Look, like a wax cotton jacket like the M65, something similar. Like if you were to buy one like straight off the shelf, you're talking 400 or 500 quid, right?
Yeah.
That jacket you can get for 80 quid. And then I bought this 100% organic beeswax for, I think it cost me £4 for 500 grams. And you also have to mix some oil in it as well. That cost a couple of quid. And so if you can make a £70 jacket into something that would otherwise cost you £400 or £500, and it extends the life and the usability of it, that's a fantastic way of upgrading clothing
I'm
that you already have.
genuinely looking forward to this video because
Can I ask a question, Alan?
Yeah, sure, CR.
You mentioned
Go
about
ahead.
the oil. Is the oil to soften the wax to make it more malleable?
The oil. So from what I understand from the research I've did, some people just use nothing but wax and then they try and rub the wax in, but it doesn't penetrate the material as well. So you have to do 2 parts wax to 1 part natural oil.
Okay, I see.
I forget which type of oil it is. I've got it downstairs. Add 1 part of that to the wax, and what that does is it allows it to penetrate into the materials because there's a process of heating involved. You put the wax on, then there's a whole process you have to go through when you heat it, and you do it several times until it impregnates into it. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll go through the whole thing in the video when I get around to doing it, and then a couple of months from now or whenever I post the video, you'll see what I'm talking about. But it should be interesting because I actually think that jacket will look cool as hell waxed. I've never seen one waxed before, so that'll be
I think it
interesting.
just makes it like really dark and wet looking.
Yeah, and it's a black. I've got the black version, so it'll be interesting to see how it looks. And it's kind of
shiny.
I've had it for like 5 years, so it's already got that kind of rough look about it.
Yeah, I could
What
see that being
about,
useful for you there.
What is it called? Oilcloth?
Well, it's waxed cotton jackets. So I think, is it oilcloth or is that something different? Because there are some petroleum based oils you can impregnate clothing with in order to make them water repellent. The beeswax system was originally used by like fishermen and stuff way back in the day before waterproof materials were a thing. You could just wax your own clothing, because cotton gets a bad rep as a survival material. A lot of people say, "Oh, cotton kills." Well, yeah, it kills if you use it wrong, but otherwise, it's actually a fantastic material. It's warm, it's very rugged, it's affordable, it's repairable, it's good. It's a great survival material. But you don't want to be wet
useful
with
in the summer.
Yeah, it's great in the well. I use it in the summer. I've got different
Yeah,
jackets
yeah,
for
I
different
mean,
seasons.
yeah.
But if you wax it, then it adds another barrier to it, and you can use it in the winter time as well. So, yeah, it's on topic as well with what we're talking about. It's just I just randomly remembered I was going to make the first part of that video tonight.
Well,
No,
clearly,
is it-
I need to try something like that. If Alan's doing it, clearly the rest of us, we could try something. But you try first, Alan. You try
We'll
first, you
wait
try
to
first.
see Alan's results. There
Yeah,
we
yeah,
go.
Yeah, I would like to see the
Finish,
results
post the
myself.
video.
I was going to say we can all screw an item of clothing up together. We can.
Oh.
I don't want to ruin this Gucci shirt.
Alan's successful next video on my channel, waxed boxer shorts. There we go. Think of the uses yourself. Yeah, I'm not even going to go there.
I can't think of any uses for waxed boxer shorts.
That would be quite.
You're not
stiff,
thinking hard
basically.
enough.
Hey, Mike, remember
Funny,
to make
Mike.
a shorts out of it.
You can make char cloth out of it.
That's it.
Your emergency Tinder. That's always on you.
Tender.
We need
tender
a fire.
Tinder.
1 second.
Hold on, let me rip a piece of my boxers off. There we go. It's all waxed up and ready to go. Ugh.
Yeah. That's your description on Tinder.
That's gonna be an interesting everyday carry video the next time.
Yeah.
What do you see, Mike? Well, I got these boxers.
Mike's new channel, The Adventures of Under Tinder.
Under Tinder.
And oh, Lord.
You should use that as a
Why does that
hashtag.
sound like a Minecraft villain? I don't know.
Use that as a hashtag.
He just pulls Tinder out of his drawers. You need a fire? You need a fire. Fire for you. Fire for everyone as he's pulling things out of his drawers.
Oh dear.
Tell you what, as well, we've not really talked about it yet, but some energy saving ideas. Because before I came on the live, I quickly looked up some ways of saving energy in the household. I didn't realize this at the time, but I mean, you guys know what phantom power is, which is basically
Yes.
it's devices you've got on standby and stuff in your house.
Yeah. All your
Your
transformers
TV.
plugged in all the time, your chargers.
Yeah. Do you know that uses 10% of your household energy, or it can
Yep.
do? I didn't realize it was as much as that. I knew it had a bit of a draw, a bit of a pull, but
10%? Wow, I didn't.
as much as 10%. It says between 5 and 10%, but a lot of households use a lot of phantom power. And one of the biggest culprits is microwaves, clocks that do nothing. The clock on your cooker, which does bugger all as well, but needs you have to put the main power for the cooker on just for that to operate. And then, of course, everybody's aware of like TVs and overcharging phones overnight and things like that as well. But yeah, I mean,
Battery
it's,
banks.
If
it's a
somebody
really-
can tell me a way to master getting kids to turn lights off, then I'm all ears.
yeah, but do you know,
know where the breaker box is and just shut it all off. Be like, you didn't shut it off. You just lost 12 hours of light.
yeah. That's what I mean. If you're using like,
something out again? Are we testing something?
if you're using like LED bulbs and
Preparedness
USB
drill?
lights, they're not drawing a lot of power, right? I mean, they use a lot less. It's just like 12 volts or whatever.
Well, your USB light, if it's plugged into one of those little charger bricks, those things, any charger that's plugged into the wall, whether you're using it or not, is burning energy.
Yeah.
Period. I did it on my Jackery. I just wanted to see. I took my iPad brick and I just plugged it in, It was drawing 2 watts, just sitting there. Nothing
Yeah.
plugged into it. You plug in your iPad to it. Okay, now it's 12 watts. But yeah, it just draws a watt or 2, just sitting there doing nothing. So all of those chargers with the cables hanging out in your house, where it's convenient, you come home and you just plug your phone in, you're good to go. Well, great. You just wasted a whole bunch of energy over the course of the year. It was like, it's only a couple pennies a day. It's like, okay, times 6 chargers times 365 days. That's like $20.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the same people are not bothered about the fuel price because it's only gone up by 10 pence or 20 pence or 30 pence. And what's 30 pence? It's nothing, right? You can't even buy a Mars bar for that anymore.
So can I add something in, and I'll tie it into
No, sorry, you can't. Nope.
Oh, mark my words, I will.
I know.
No, but if you think about it, let's say if you were running one of those, what's it called, home Generac or those home backup power, right? And you had to run it, right? It'd probably be smart to unplug certain things, I guess, right?
Actually, so if you think about it, if you have to run a generator and you're not going to run it 24/7 for a whole week or 2, if the power's out, just in a normal power outage situation, you're probably only going to run it because you're going to be using fuel. When that thing's running, no, you're going to plug anything that needs charging, you're going to plug it in. That way, when you shut the power off, you now have your LED, USB lights, whatever, that are all charged up. And you can run them all night long. The next day, fire up the generator for a few hours, get your freezers cold again, and then shut it back off so you can conserve fuel. That's when you want to charge stuff, not when you're just running off the grid and you're not home for 3 weeks and you're on vacation.
No, I'm like saying like something
plugged
like
in the wall.
microwave or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I cook on. We have gas here. I'm not stuck with just electric, so we have a power outage. My gas stove still works. The auto igniter doesn't work. So, I don't know. Let me flick my Bic, light the burner, cook dinner.
It's amazing how many people wouldn't even do that though in this day and age.
They don't know how to do it. They're like, I got no power. My stove. I hear gas, but my stove isn't igniting. Shut it off. You're going to blow the house up. Okay.
I can hear the tss, but not the tss.
Yeah. Exactly.
I keep one of those long like barbecue lighters in the kitchen drawer for that scenario because sometimes it's temperamental anyway, and it's just easier for me to
just flick that Bic and light her up.
Lick it a big.
That's the oil, by the way. That's the good stuff, apparently. Pure, raw linseed oil.
Oh, linseed oil is really nice.
That combined with this organic beeswax is the
Is that a half liter?
That's good for your wood as well.
Or I think that's generally what.
That's a 250 mil.
Or 250,
So according to the recipe I was looking at, I use 90 mils of this to 250 grams of this.
Okay.
And basically I paint it on the jacket, and there's several processes you have to go through in order to do it, and several heating processes, but we'll see how that turns out.
Hey, just to help you out, if you're going to run that jacket through the wash machine, don't add fabric softener to it.
The very first step is to take the jacket and wash it without fabric softener or anything like that.
Right.
Just
fabric softener actually puts a coating on there and won't let anything in. That's why your towels, which feel nice and soft, just smear water all over your body and don't dry anything, because the fabric softener coats the fibers and it feels soft, but it won't absorb anything.
Yeah. So the first process I'm going to do is you wash it to get all of the stuff that's already in there out, so it'll be clean. And then when I get it, I've got some minor repairs that I need to do to the jacket. Then I start that process, and there's a whole thing that I've been looking into. So it should be interesting.
That jacket's really dirty. Yeah, wash it in whatever your regular detergent you're using. But I would wash it a second time and just with it like a half a cup of borax. Just borax.
Right.
Nothing else. There's no odors to it. There's no other chemicals in it. It actually totally breaks down and rinses out. Some of these Tide and all these things they smell good and all that. Yeah, there's additives in there that are going to get trapped in the fibers that could make your oiling splotchy looking.
Yeah. I'd seen some people actually say just do a hot wash with nothing at all, just hot water.
Yeah.
And just you wash it out that way, and then you'll just be left with the fabric itself, which makes a lot of sense. So
I hope you have better luck than I did when I tried to dye my camouflage jacket. I tried to black dye my camouflage jacket to make a more deeper green thing, and the coating on the camouflage jacket must have just been too strong for the dye. It just said "fuck you," and it just like a 3-hour painstaking process in and out of the washing machine and then into a bucket and stuff like this. And then when it all came out, it was like, it's the same.
Yeah, many years ago, I tried to make my own ghillie suit when I was basically still a kid, and that involved a process of dyeing a certain amount of fabric brown and a certain amount of fabric green, and then you put it in a tumble dryer, and then all this process. I dyed the inside of my mother's tumble dryer, and for weeks, that was going on the clothing, and I was just like in complete denial. I don't know how that.
I made my own ghillie, but you can buy the Hessian already in different colors. You know this, right?
Well, no, you probably can now, but back in my day, you couldn't. I just literally got a bunch of Hessian bags and dyed it myself.
Back in my day, we're the same age.
I used to dye my own Hessian. I didn't go fancy buying Hessian online, But I am talking about. I must have been maybe 13 or 14. So this is pre-Amazon days.
Yeah.
Pre-Amazon days. Sorry. 13 or 15 years old. I was probably married and had all 3 of my kids were born at that point.
Hang on, Daddy?
No. Well, no. I never hung out with any Scottish women. Or Irish women or English women.
Oh. No.
What are you looking for, Mike?
My oil. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay. 2 seconds will fly by pretty quick.
Just reading through some of the comments there as well.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, some of the notes I made for this are largely to do with gear and materials and things like that, and some of the ways that you can try and keep on top of the repairs and the maintenance and stuff like that. We've not really talked about food waste or water waste or any of that stuff really either. Huge amount of food waste. 30, according to one site that I've got here, 30 to 40% of households. Say this is the UK food something. What is it? It's government website about wastage. Roughly 30 to 40% of food waste occurs in each household weekly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, that's a lot. I mean, 40% of the food you buy, according to this, just gets thrown in the bin.
Yeah,
because they buy it on sale. They buy it on. It's like, today, years ago, it's like, steak is on sale. They buy like 3 or 4 steaks, and you eat 2 of them. And the other one, they don't rewrap it. They just throw that styrofoam pack with the saran in the freezer. 3 weeks later, it's freezer burned. They find it a year later, throw it in the trash.
Yeah,
so that sale price was worthless. You paid more. Yeah.
It actually mentions freezer burn here. Like they did a survey of UK households, and a huge amount of people every year have to empty their entire freezer of like half a bag of chips and half a bag of this and half a bag of that.
They don't seal it up right. Yeah,
the fish finger that fell out the box and now is part of the freezer because it's in the frost. And everyone must have had that at some point. I'm telling you, defrosting the freezer and there's just a wet fish finger floating in the bottom, like really lonely.
I've had freezers that were an archaeological dig.
Yeah.
You let it thaw out. It's like you start seeing things. It's like, I don't even remember that. You pull it out. It's like, oh my God, this thing is like 9 years old in the package still. It's free. It's a box with, potato skins or something in it that they went freezer burned 3 weeks after you bought it because you didn't need them. Yeah. And it's just buried in a block of ice because the defrost didn't work on the freezer. It's like, time to defrost the freezer. Open it up. It's like, ooh. It was on sale. Good thing I should have just taken my money and thrown it in the trash can.
I was with my ex, and we went away for a week, and the seal must have been broken, or the door must have been not fully closed, or something. But the freezer had overcompensated for this, and I opened the freezer to a wall of ice. Literally,
Wow.
It was me with a chisel, with a hairdryer, with hot water, everything, trying to just even get a space to put a bowl of hot water in there to let it do. It was horrendous. It was like a
So it went
6-hour
Titanic.
job trying to
That's
hack
a
away the
logistic
ice.
nightmare, basically.
Yeah, trying to save the food. It's like digging around. What's this? Oh, it's nothing.
I can't tell. It's frozen. It's
That's
solid
not
piece.
digging. That's an excavation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you use an ice pick?
No, good. I'm a man's man. I just got the biggest chisel I could find in my toolbox and went, right, I'm having this with a mallet.
He called Alan up and borrowed his ice axe.
Yes. Edmund Hillaried it.
Yeah. Honey, where are you going? I'm reaching for the fish and chips. I'll be back in an hour. I'm going in.
What's
It's
that in the
interesting.
bottom?
See,
Is that a fish finger? No, it's Captain Scott.
See, Grumpy Adventures is saying there that in World War II, food waste was collected and fed to pigs. Funnily enough, I was actually just reading a thing the other day where they were saying that in the UK in the 18th century, right up until basically 1940s, it was incredibly common for people to keep a pig. That was just a common thing for people to do, and they actually used to call it the poor man's bank account because it was very cheap to buy and raise a pig and then sell it, for the meat afterwards. And that only stopped becoming widespread in the 1940s. So people never wasted anything. They would buy a piglet and then they would fatten it up with food scraps and then sell the pig or slaughter the pig and have pork and then just do the same thing over and over again. And it's the same with people keeping like small holdings of chickens and stuff like that as well. It's like we've just moved away from all that kind of stuff. I imagine in rural sort of the United States, it was relatively common for people to have like a milking cow, or a couple of goats or something.
My mom did.
Well,
Yep.
there you go. I mean, that was just normal.
I had a pig, but before I could sell it to market, she divorced me. So, I mean, there's not much I can do.
It is what it is.
It is.
Did you fatten it up first?
Allegedly so.
Yeah.
Allegedly, hey.
And you do become a poor man in that case because they take everything off of you as well.
I left with a bag of clothes.
Well,
I was just happy to escape. It's fine. Oh, good times.
running away with your preps and what you can carry. You'll have bottles like this, so it won't be linseed oil. You'll have jars of it. You can.
I mean, I didn't prep back then. Luckily, I had tools, but that's it. So yeah, I was more of a survivalist back then. One man survivalist with his cruiser Yamaha dragster bike. That was it.
The minimalist survivalist.
Yeah.
I'm just leaving. I'll figure it out when I get there.
If it
People
didn't
living
fit
out
in
of
my
a
panniers,
backpack.
it never came. It was simple as that.
Yeah. It's a very pure way of living. There was a time long time ago where I basically lived out of a backpack as well. All of my possessions would fit in a hold all basically, and you could sofa surf and things like that.
Prepping doesn't do this, right? This chaos behind me. Family does this. Yeah. When I was on my own, the first time I got a 2-bedroom house on my own, there was a chair, a bed, and my clothes. I'm like, I did no ornaments, nothing on the side, nothing like this. One frying pan that cooked all meals, didn't matter. Cast iron, didn't matter.
Yeah.
Cook it in the breakfast fat, it was fine. That
One
was
fork,
how I
one
lived.
spoon.
And it was amazing. My bank account was healthy. Then you have kids and misses, and the bank account just goes down, and you hoard.
Well, in your case, you have a missus, then kids, then another missus, then kids, then another missus, then more kids, and you don't have a bank account anymore.
But you have
What
created
bank
an army.
The child support services just own my bank account.
Just take it all. Just take it all.
The very first flat I had when I was younger, the very first place I had of my own, my bed was in the living room, and I had a mini fridge, I had a TV, a PlayStation, some camping gear, and some clothes. And I remember my grandmother at the time who brought me up, she came around, she was like, what is this? What is going on here? Why aren't you using the bedrooms? And I was like, well, logically, everything I need is in this one room, and this is a bigger room. It makes more sense for me just to have everything in here. I thought I had the perfect setup. I was literally living, well, I was like 22 years old or something. I'm like, I've got my bed, I don't need chairs. What do I need a sofa for? Nobody comes to visit. I've got a TV, I've got a PlayStation, I've got a tent, a camping gear. I don't need anything else in life.
Alan's bringing a girl home, opening the door like, welcome to my crack den. There's a mattress on the floor.
Here's my
well, that's the thing. When you're in your early 20s, it does kind of look like a bit of a crack den. Because I remember my gran as well saying, "Where's your kettle?" Like, it's in the corner. And she's like, "Where's your freezer?" I was like, "I don't need a freezer. What do I need a freezer for? I buy stuff and I eat it."
Oh, how not to live.
Yeah, things have improved since then. I will say that. Now I just fill.
Yeah, now
his kayaks and electrical.
Yeah, his room has a kayak in it now.
Yeah. You all think this is the spare room. This is actually just my living room. This is just how I live.
He's not sat on a chair, he's sat on his bed talking.
Yeah, this just reclines right back, and I just,
Now, you would do well in a tiny house then. At least you don't have to pay rent. You just own it, and you can take it wherever you want, maybe.
That's it.
We laugh, but I mean, I think we were lucky. We were probably the last lucky generation, Alan. I was able to leave home at 16 sort of thing. I had my own place when I was like 18, 19, and it was... Now you can't do it. There's people 20 odd year old living at home with the parents because they can't afford the rents and stuff like that. And it's just insane. I know people my age now who live in a HMO, which is a house of multiple occupancy. They pay rent for our room, and that is it.
Mm-hmm. It's funny enough. We actually started off this podcast talking about that, just the cost of living and how that's changed over the years, and people are spending 50% of their salary now on rent. They don't even own the house, they're just renting it.
At least 50%.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know if we were the generation. I think we missed out a little bit as well. We're millennials technically, aren't we? I think anybody born after 84 is a millennial.
We missed out on the probably our generation missed out on the cheaper houses by getting on the property ladder, but rents were still dirt cheap. You could still, rent relatively cheap all the way up into a certain age and stuff like that. So I think we had more available. I remember like working a minimum wage job and being able to afford a 2-bedroom flat with a bathroom and still manage to go out drinking every single weekend and have money for terrible choices like kebabs and takeaways afterwards.
Just as a quick example, because we're talking about it, that first flat I was talking about, I ended up living in that flat for 10 years, actually. It was a great 1-bedroom flat. I only moved, eventually I had kids and stuff, so I had to move. But I got that flat off the council originally. I paid £250 a month rent to the council. It cost me £40 for electricity and £10 a month for gas. That was it.
I'd love that now.
You just can't get that now. That same place would cost. I mean, granted, back then I was only making, I don't know, maybe £1,700 a month. But still, it's plenty.
That's a lot of expendable income after them bills.
Yeah, it's plenty expendable. You can't do that now. Good luck with that now.
The cheapest rental on my road is a 2-bedroom, and that's at like $1,500 at the moment a month.
Yeah, and so
that's what my one of my kids and her spouse got an apartment in the next town over, and they were renting a part of a house with a friend, but then mom sold the house, so they had to buy it or move out. And the two of them working. She works from home, he works out, and the two of them alone, like 60% of their income every month goes to rent. And they're on a 3rd floor, no elevator. It's an outside staircase thing. And it's an apartment complex, but they got it's a dining room and 2 bedrooms and a smaller kitchen. Really, their dining room, living room area is one area, and it's small. They got it packed in there pretty good, but they're paying stupid money for it, and it's basically what they're paying in rent. I pay on my mortgage.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
But
mad.
they can't afford a mortgage because you don't have a down payment. So yeah, there's that. And
in a way, this is why the economy has to crash at some point.
Yeah,
Because it
idea.
can't keep going on this trajectory. It just can't. No,
It's
people
like-
can't move out.
It's like the old joke of The Simpsons. You know, when the TV show The Simpsons first came out. When did
Yeah.
that first come out? It was like the 80s or something. And then
Yeah,
I know
90s,
it's still on. It's like on season 3000 or something just now.
yeah.
But it was completely normal when they created The Simpsons to imagine that a household of 3 kids, 1 income, 2 cars, 4-bedroom detached house with a garage, and Homer could afford all that as a safety supervisor.
Dopey Homer with no intelligence can make the money to pay
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
And that's
December 17th, 1989 was the debut show.
Well, there you go. And they created that house thinking that this is an everyman common sort of scenario. You know,
Yeah. Well, it was.
Now it's a
was
mansion.
until at that point. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I did remember actually seeing somebody make this point and say, but he was a nuclear safety inspector. They're probably paid quite well. I was like, I doubt it. You know,
I don't know.
How did he
Not
get
if, not
the
if, not
job?
if,
Did
not
they
if a
ever
nuclear
explain?
rod falls in your pocket and winds up in the street on the way home. Maybe not.
Did they
Yeah.
ever explain how he got that job? I know we're completely off track here, but
I think they did. I can't remember, but I actually think there was an episode where they explain it.
oh, madness. Because the housing waiting list is so long, they're stepping up and helping the locals. Oh, down Kent, the travelling community has opened up the sites for people to rent caravan at affordable prices. I mean, a friend of mine, Leanne Mack, lives on a like one of those holiday home caravan, you know, like you'd go and rent it for a week, but he lives permanently in one of them and he got a monthly rate for it. So, but there's laws against it as well, technically. If you want to live in a caravan on a holiday park, you can only do it for 11 months out of the year, I believe. So you've got to have a holiday somewhere for a month if you're doing it. But
It's
even
like,
then, 600, 700 quid a month is still expensive if you stay in a caravan.
I mean, van life became quite popular in the UK.
Yeah.
For
And
this kind of reason.
they crapped on that too, didn't they?
Yeah, it is illegal, I believe, to sleep in a van outside of a designated parking area in the UK. I mean, you're not allowed to just sort of pull up on the verge of a road and sleep in your van.
Unless you're sitting behind the steering wheel and cop says, why are you sleeping? It's like, because I was tired, didn't want to wreck. Okay, move on.
Yeah,
Big signs, tiredness can kill, followed by no sleeping or parking here. It's like,
Yeah,
make your
everywhere.
mind up.
yeah. It's one of those rules. It's weirdly, strangely enough, in Scotland, for example, you can camp anywhere you like in Scotland. We have the right to camp anywhere you like. But the way that they get around it is you're not allowed to legally park a car where you like, though. So you can park anywhere you like, but you can't park your car anywhere. So how do you get to the place? You know, and that's the way that they get around it.
Yeah, that annoys me that you can't wild camp in the UK.
Well, in England you can't, but here you can.
Sorry, just ordering a coffee. No, it's it's mad. The cost of living is what's probably is. I mean, we talk about all these SHTF scenarios when we talk on prep and chats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We talk about CMEs, we talk about World War III, we talk about, nuclear war, all sorts of different reasons that it could all happen, the end of days, however you want to see it. I think just the cost of living is most people's SHTF. And everything we're talking about here about zero waste and make, do, and mend and growing your own, that's combating the cost of living. That is now. That needs to happen now, not when something happens. It's honestly, because we're victims of a society where we think if there's a hole in something, we have to go and buy a new one. There's no repairing. There's nothing like that. I remember my only housewarming gift off my parents when I moved out was a big basket full of sewing stuff, like every parent has. She said, I know you'll never buy yourself one, so here you go.
Did you get the metal tin full of buttons too?
No, there was a plastic thing of buttons there. It was the classic wicker wicker basket one where it's got a
I got one of
spongy
those.
lid so you can put your pins in the top. You know,
Yep.
one of those. Yeah.
I was gifted grandma's button bucket. It was the metal cookie tin from the 30s or 40s that it's every shirt or anything that lost a button or had a button or they got rid of it or she found it went in there. And you can almost guarantee you could find either one matching button for what you had or 6 buttons to replace all of them so they'd all look the same.
It just passed down through the generations.
Exactly.
That's what happened with me every time. If a button came off, it's like my gran would go, "Oh, I'll fix that." I'm like, "Gran, there's no way you've got a button that says Ben Sherman on there, right?" Because that was the shirts in the 90s, right? And she's like, "All right, okay, I'll put some new ones on." Suddenly, I'm going out for a night out with a Ben Sherman shirt with wooden buttons on. It's like people are like, "What the is that?"
It's the new Ben
retro.
Sherman.
It's retro, honestly. Oh, somebody in the comments, XO Goffs has said Homer held a protest to get the power plant shut down, and then Mr. Burns hired them as the safety inspector.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
it's as easy as that, kids.
They've done like 1 million episodes, so they will have explained it at some point.
CR is showing off his button collection.
Oh, wait. Let me turn that upside down.
He just
okay.
That looked like a row of beads on my screen there. I thought he was showing us something else.
I thought it was like a far distant view of donuts.
Muchas gracias.
Did you just cut those off your shirt to take? Did you just cut those off your shirt to make that picture?
Yeah.
Stood there flopping in the wind.
I just tore it off the buttons. I don't need these, right?
Do they still teach it in school, Alan?
But yeah.
They did with me, home economics.
Probably not.
Yeah, we had it.
No, they don't.
I remember that
anymore.
Yeah, I took home ec.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And I went to culinary school. I was the pride and joy of my cooking teacher. The only person that ever went to culinary school that she ever taught.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't think they teach any of that now. It's madness. It's
not useful skills.
Nope. They just teach you how to whatever. They teach to the test so you can go on and get a college degree worth nothing and spend the rest of your life paying debt.
Yeah, pretty much. Well,
with no practical skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, what'd you get a degree in? I got a master's in business. What business? Oh, I don't know. Where do you work now? Starbucks.
Can you cook?
There's
no.
Nothing like the good old days of making some horrendous attempt at an apple pie in school, bringing it home, forcing your parents to try it, and watching their fake.
Okay, you can take me off this shadow. Anyways,
I'd say education used to be a useful thing, but now you've got thousands of people who have got degrees in gender studies or something, and you're just like, okay.
All right, now you have CR running the show.
Welcome to the CR channel.
Shadow. With my special guest.
Yeah.
you got CRs taking up the whole screen.
Yeah.
I can't see.
You usually do.
It was a bad time to take a nap there, Shadow.
Do you guys have repair kits, like a purpose, like a sewing kit that you repair clothes with?
I actually keep a little sewing kit in my go-around bag. Not really a bug-out bag. It goes in my car with me when I have to go further than about 10 miles.
I've still got the big one that I got as that housewarming gift. I've always added to it, but I've also got loads of little, they call them housewives, I think. The little sewing sets.
Yeah, the little plastic threefold with 4 different color threads, a little pair of scissors that are worthless. Yeah. The thing that threads the needle and like 4 needles.
You may as well just you don't even cut the thread.
Yeah. It used to be the case. I used to carry around like a housewife kit, as it was called. As part of my pack, I had needles and threads and buttons and all that kind of stuff. But see, to be honest, I must have carried that around for 20 years, never used it. So I stopped carrying it. And now the only repair kit I carry is something like this. This is just an old plastic card with some basically duct tape wrapped around it, and I can make just about any material repair with that quickly in the bush, and then fix it when I come home if that's what I want to do.
Get home. Yeah, I always had a sewing kit on me. I've been at many business meetings where we're all in a hotel and we're all walking down to go to the meeting, and one of the guys is like I can't believe I ripped the button off. I'm like, come on, back to the room. Go back
I'm
up
not
there.
even-
He's like, you literally brought a sewing kit on a business trip. It's like, I always have a little sewing kit with me.
I'm not even using them on to cut anything, and they feel like they're gonna break.
Yeah, exactly. They're just crappy, cheap Chinese scissors made in wherever.
Yeah, and a tape measure. That's if you get it wet, it will just dissolve. A little paper tape measure there.
Paper tape, which is probably not even accurate, but close enough.
Close enough. Oh, and it even comes with its own spare 2 completely useless buttons that will never fit. Probably smaller than most shirt holes.
It'll get you through.
I could never get away with wearing the thimble though. I'd rather just prick my finger by accident.
Oh, you mean
Use
your kit
pliers.
didn't come with that little flat aluminum piece with the thin wire on it, the needle thredder that you poke through the hole in the needle, put the thread on
I
there,
know
pull
what
it back
those-
through? Come on, I
use
got
them.
one of those in mine.
I use them. Yeah, I use them. But with the sewing set, the big one, it's got the thimble, so you can put your thumb over, and when you're sewing through, you don't stab yourself in the thumb. But yeah, I just don't bother with that. I just bleed over everything instead.
I use pliers.
The thing I
mean-
like, rather than having a dedicated kit, like a little kit like Mike was showing there, because I had one of them for years as well, and then never used it. It goes back to what we were saying earlier, where it's like you have items in your kit that are kind of dual use. So if I wanted to sew something up, I carry this kind of cordage with me anyway, which is just it's fin gauge bank line, and it's on a spool here with a cutter. So if I needed to sew something for some reason, I've got that cordage, and then on the back of my sheath knife, I've got a sail needle.
I mean that's some big cordage though, right? You best hope it's not. You don't want to do a subtle little repair on a white shirt because you'll have this like black stitch in it.
Yeah,
If you're out in the bush and you're wearing a white shirt, you probably don't belong out in the bush or you're washed.
But the thing
Listen,
is, I mean, see if you're just
white
making like
cotton shirt is good.
see if you're just making a quick repair like that, like I say, just a little piece of this tape right over it, that'll do. Just tape it up, tape up you don't need to sew it up.
I must
Yeah,
admit
just to get
that's
back
why
on.
I love the ripstop stuff that you get, the ex-army surplus ripstop stuff, and it looks like little squares all over it, and that's designed if you catch it on like a bit of barbed wire, it only rips as far as one square. It doesn't then just go down there.
They say that, right? But I have
works.
managed.
I've done it.
Most of the time it does. I have also managed to rip a jacket, and it just kind of looks like this all the way down. Yeah, I've managed to.
It's followed the steps.
It's stepped its way all the way down, but the ripstop stuff was great when it first came out.
I think with everything, the first edition of that stuff is really good, and then every reorder they're trying to save money in materials, so it just gets worse and worse. If you get a modern one, it probably just won't work.
Yeah.
Well, they make the material thinner and thinner. That was always the problem. The denier material, they because they want lighter weight garments and cheaper to make garments, they make the material thinner. It gets to a point where it doesn't matter if it's ripstop, if it's as light as a bloody parachute material, but made of cheap material. It's just going to rip apart anyway.
Yeah.
Zoop.
You'll all be in ripped up materials in the apocalypse, and you'll see me walking around in my American Civil War uniform, lovely and warm. Like,
what a bizarre sight that would be, the way. Can you imagine post-apocalyptic Manchester or whatever, and there's a Civil War guy from the Americas just strutting down the street.
There's Mike hunting a
must be
squirrel with
Mike.
an Enfield musket. Hang on.
I think that's Mike, guys. I think that's him. Sure looks like him.
Everybody's picking through the trash and rubble, and Mike's just walking around with his military gear on with a musket.
That's it. Chewing
What,
my hardtack, laughing at the plebs.
What side were you? Were you the blue or the grey side?
I've done both.
Right.
So my stepdad started the American Civil War Society in the UK in the 70s. Like, you can Google him and find pictures of him all over the place. And when he first met my mum, he was a Confederate. He was in charge of the Confederate side. So obviously we were Confederates. And then once he stopped doing it, but I was a bit older and I carried on going with friends of ours. I joined the 2nd Wisconsin on the Union side. But yeah, it was all great fun.
He decided it wasn't worth being on the losing side all the time.
Do you know what? No, I couldn't handle the hangovers. I was with the 43rd North Carolina, which was an infamous regiment in the American Civil War. And at 14, I'm sat around a campfire and hip flasks constantly appeared in front of you. And you just had to take a swig and pass it on. It's like, what's that? Oh, fucking Pernod. Oh, what's that? Absinthe. Oh, you know? Yeah. I was the most ratted 14-year-old.
The South will rise again.
I had to change sides for my livers, for my kidneys. But yeah, it was good. The best time of my life, because anyone that gets into reenacting, they'll know. No mobile phone, no nothing, no bills, no worries, no mortgage. For a weekend, you are in that place and nothing else bothers you. It is the ultimate de-stress. It really is.
Yeah, I'd quite fancy doing something like that. Like you say, we'll think of something to do as well, which would be quite cool. Actually, see another idea on the mending kit, because people are saying that they've got different mending kits. I used to carry a glue stick with me sometimes. Do you know the type that you have to melt with a glue gun?
Yes,
melt it with a lighter.
You can melt.
You just melt it with a lighter.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is. It's right there. Yeah, that's a great thing to carry.
Yep. Heat it up, drip it on, stops ripping.
Yep.
Yeah.
I actually need to do that to my tent.
That's what I use.
Brand new Coleman tent. We took it out last year to the food show, and we got a massive windstorm. The tent literally folded flat, but it ripped one of the fly line seams on the edge. It still works, but it just ripped the little overlap seam that the string tied to. And I gotta, before it shreds, I gotta hit it with the glue gun just to put it back. It's nylon, so I could probably just iron it really hot and melt it back together again.
Yeah.
Super thin.
Yeah.
You can use.
I also have the bank line too.
Top tip for you there, CR, in the comments. The top tip for you there, CR. Ladders in tights can be prevented by painting nail varnish around the snag, so you know how to save your tights now, CR.
Well, just in case I'm on a tight budget, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
come on, we know you
would so fire me for that.
We know you got some. We know you got some nail polish around somewhere.
Wait, hold on. Hold on.
See,
Wait, maybe I'll go get it. Hold on.
You can get you can get like seam grip and stuff like that as well, which is pretty good. You can use that on clothing or tents and stuff like that as well.
Crazy glue works too. Yeah,
these are self-adhesive patches that are used for air mattresses.
Yeah, you always get a little bag of them when you buy one every time, don't you? Yeah.
I always keep them, and I put them all into a little pouch. I've weirdly just got the little pouch right here, like my little repair kit. And the only reason I carry this is purely for air mattresses. And
why did that look like a condom on the thumb side there? A little gold square.
Definitely not. You're definitely not going to know what a condom looks like.
Your nail polish.
Oh, you just got burned there, Mike.
No, it's alcohol wipes. That's what it is. I also have a bunch of alcohol wipes.
Mike knows what his condom looks like. He just keeps it in a sewing kit with unkempt needles and pins.
This would be a place where he would keep a condom. A random sewing kit.
And there's the clear nail polish.
Hey, nail polish is useful.
Clear nail polish is very useful. Yeah.
I've used it for many different things. Right.
I don't.
It's very useful. Oh, hey, I was gonna say to you guys, I have some of this too. This air cordage that I use for sewing sometimes. It's actually kite string.
All right.
Yeah, not the cheap cardboard roll kite string with that old gala kite you bought, but the good kite string.
Hey,
well, yeah, I mean, usually it's. Hi, CB. Like usually it's
CB's going to get a rabbit for dinner.
So, yeah, usually it's twisted so you can get individual strands, just like the bank line. If you need something more fine,
you could get Kevlar thread and things as well, which is quite good.
Of course.
But I think it's I've always found Kevlar thread to be it's shiny and it's kind of slippery, I don't find it as useful as certain kinds of bank line. By the way, the bank line that I was showing, this is a very thin gauge bank line and it's untarred. This is the untarred version of it.
You don't like the shiny one, says the man about to wet look his entire coat.
That's different. That's different.
That's a totally different thing, Mark.
I actually think I've got some of that Kevlar thread somewhere. Is this it? Can't remember.
Is it as good as everyone claims it as is? Like, I know
No.
it's strong. Okay, because like I've never had it or had it in my hands or whatever. But I'm like, is it as good as everyone thinks it says it? It's like, oh yeah, you got this, you can do this and that, and it's stronger and all this stuff. I'm like,
I don't think the tensile strength for Kevlar thread is much more than a similar gauge bank line. To be honest, I think it's basically similar.
I see.
But I find that, like I say, it's got a kind of like a coating to it almost, which it comes loose. I think it's kind of tricky to use, so I've never found a real use for it. But I've got some lying around. That's like I've got stuff all over the place in here that I've bought, used once, realised it isn't that good, and then moved on to something else. You know, we're talking about wastage here, and I've literally got a room full of stuff that I've used once.
Oh, how many of us have
eBay.
bought gear and haven't used it or barely used it? Yep, I'm raising my hand on that.
Yeah,
I'm
bad for that too, right? I mean,
I've just started the sort of like stuff that I only need in SHTF is started to be moved into the loft or into other spaces because it's just becoming chaos.
make caches out of it. That's what I was talking about earlier. Start putting it together.
I've got caches of food set up. I've got one there actually prepped, ready to put out somewhere, which I'll do a video on when I do it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
if you've got a cache of food, if you add a cooking pot to that, a drinks container, and a tarp, that's pretty decent. And then you could build on that.
Yeah. I just feel like it would be. I always picture it as like I'm going to get to this cache just needing food, and I'll have all the other stuff, so it's just going to be wasted. But I mean, I suppose if I've got it spare anyway, if it's going to be going, I've got about 27 tents. I could just throw a random tent, bury a random tent with every cache.
No, you definitely can. I mean, that's the thing. It's like I said earlier. I don't know if you were on when I was talking about it, but if I was to try and buy everything in one of my caches, it would cost a bloody fortune. But it's just old stuff. It's just stuff I've had for years, and all I've did is put it together as a kit now and say, "Oh, that's a complete kit." That's a whole, and that's the easy way of doing
things
it.
you tried before in the past.
It's just like old. I mean, I literally at one point had about 20 different tarps, and I don't need that many tarps, so I can either sell them, bin them, or put them to use. Why not just put one into every cache I've got?
Yeah,
along with a backpack and an old sleeping bag, and eventually you get a whole kit together. And
what do you put in those buckets or barrels to keep the moisture level down?
So most of the stuff is vacuum bagged. So most of the stuff is in vacuum bags, and then it's inside there as well. So it's not just willy-nilly sort of thrown in. And then on top of the vacuum bagged stuff, there's a couple of moisture absorbers in there.
Gotcha.
I check on it like so far, the few times that I've checked on my caches, none of them have ever had any moisture inside. So nothing's ingressed in. I'm expecting it to happen at some point. The barrel itself is obviously very water sealed. They're sealed.
Right.
But
does it have the? Do you have the big screw-on caps for that?
No, the ones I've got are the metal.
You got the metal ring around it.
The metal ring ratchet. So they seem to work okay at the moment.
You can always put a thin bead of silicone around the entire thing. Let it cure. Make sure it's nice and thin and smooth. Let it dry before you put the lid on there. That'll give it the extra, like rubberized, waterproof seal versus just plastic to plastic and the ratchet ring.
Yeah, because I mean, I was saying, like, you can think you've got a very, very weatherproof, like, cache, But if you just leave it for years and don't check on it, basically what you're trying to do is have yourself a bit of a time capsule. It's not a cache, it's a time capsule.
Yeah.
And because of the change in weather, the seasons change, and eventually it's just going to get wrecked. I mean, they're just because it's in the ground, it's going to rot away. It's degrading every day that it's there, really. So
that and the hot and cold. I mean, as it expands, contracts, it's basically breathing. It's going to pull in, going from hot to cold. It's going to pull in some outside air and moisture, probably.
Those are great.
These are the ones I got. They're smaller. They're from like a spice shop. They'll happily get rid of them for next to nothing. And they're not the metal ring ones, but it's a screw top lid.
Yeah. They get. What does it smell like? Does it smell like vinegar?
And then it's got that seal as well, which is pretty airtight. And then at the moment, this has just got lots of MRE stuff in there, as well as accessories and stuff. But it's got some oxygen absorbers in there as well. But this is going to get repacked anyway. So
be careful with O2 absorbers. If it's sealed up that well, it'll actually collapse the barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that accidentally.
I think there's only 500 cc's in there though.
Then it probably didn't do anything. So
yeah.
The O2 absorbers just pull out oxygen, not moisture.
Right. I'll just get some silica ones. But yeah, this screws over quite tight and it's got a hell of a seal on it anyway. But they, like my local spice shop that sells spices in wholesale, this is what it comes in. So they literally have these on the counter open and people get scoops of stuff out of them. But when they give the
buckets away for free,
most of them will do if you ask nicely. But I went in there and said, "Can I have like 2 of the large ones and 4 of these? How much do you want?" He went, "Oh, give us a tenner." So I gave him a tenner for the lot, and he'd washed them out for me as well. So bonus.
Oh, sweet.
But yeah, that's what I'll be using for caches. Easier to bury than the giant barrels as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you could take a small barrel like that, fill it entirely with food, and then put that in between your bigger caches, and that gives you a sort of an additional relay. Or if you lived in a country where you could stash ammunition or something, rather than carrying it all, that's what you would do. You would put it in those smaller barrels and things like that.
Well, I was actually thinking of putting things like this in a couple of them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could stuff that you need like a resupply of as you work your way down a line or whatever.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
I think even in the UK,
CR showing us it looks like a decapitated something.
I thought it was like a finger or something.
No, this is exactly what you guys were talking about earlier.
What, a piece of candy?
Down to the wax itself. This is actually Baby Bell.
All right.
So that's Baby Bell.
Yeah,
wax.
like I've shown this on the I've shown this on the channel before. I just broke it open.
Oh, what's the white stuff? Cheese?
No, it's cotton.
Oh.
You made your own fire.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, I'm like, it's Baby Bell, so when it's white, so you literally squeeze the Baby Bell into a cylinder.
Sorry.
Yum.
I'm not gonna lie. It looks like an infection I had when I was 19.
I really should choose.
All right.
Show. Oh, yes.
Would that work with was that a piece of cotton wool that was coming out of the side of it? So
I could just tease it out, right? I could just tease it out, and it'll take
just break it open,
even from a dead lighter. I've tried this several times now, right?
Yeah.
See, that's another thing I've noticed too. Yeah, because with that kind of stuff, like cheese wax, right? People just toss it. I see that all the time. I'm like, no, it's a useful item if you go camping or whatever. I mean, like something like that, or you get or whatever, right? Outdoor fire pit or something like that.
It's not paraffin based, though, is it? I mean, the Baby Bell wax.
I'm trying to remember. I think it's. I'm trying to remember. I should look into it because I know it's soft.
Is it beeswax?
I know it's soft. I know it's very soft, even at room temperature.
Yeah, could be beeswax.
Like, you can mold it, right? So, I mean, you're already buying the cheese, like let's say, or whatever, anyways, right? So, you get more use out of it, not just food, right? Because I thought that was the whole principle behind this, right? You know, get more out of things too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's food grade blend of paraffin wax and microcrystalline wax.
Food grade
Microcrystalline.
paraffin.
Beeswax.
Food grade
Microcrystalline,
paraffin.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Food grade paraffin. There you go. That's all you need.
As if there was any such thing.
Crystalline wax? Wow, that's new to me.
There you go.
Hmm.
That's the red wax specifically used on baby bells. It is non-toxic, safe if accidentally ingested. So,
Oh yeah, it better be. It's literally stuck to your food.
I would hope
Like,
so.
do not eat. Like, why is it stuck to my cheese?
I love when you open things and it's got little packets in of the silica gel and stuff, and it says "do not eat" across it. That just tells me somebody thought they got a free packet of sweets with the shoes once.
Oh, look at this candy. No, it's not candy. I'm surprised that it's not on the packaging. Do not eat this. It's not candy too.
Oh my god, Baby Bell now do a Monterey Jack variety.
Ooh.
I'm going down a cheese rabbit hole. Stop me.
Just no cheesy comments.
I'm on
from you,
keto
Mike.
at the moment, so this is something I'm allowed. So
Mhm.
You're allowed to have cheese.
I can have cheese. Yep, I can have as much cheese as I want.
Well, there is. I've done keto before, and I thought that, but dairy products have got, you know, there's sugar.
There's
in dairy.
sugars in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't have. So it's non-processed cheese, like real cheese, is fine. That I have a keto. You have a carb allowance of 30 to 40 grams of carbs a day. I don't use that by having one slice of toast like some people do. I just don't use it on anything carb heavy. So that lets me use sauces. It lets me negate when it's got like 0.5 grams in, stuff like that. So yeah, it's good. It costs a fortune though. It costs a fortune. I'm at the moment I'm doing cheap keto where I'm opening cans of pork going 97% pork. It should be fine. So yeah.
I know
It's
a really cool site for buying exotic meats that are great for that diet.
At exotic prices, though, Alan, you're talking
really.
about a man who picks up the tray of 20
Not really.
legs.
Yeah, you can buy bulk meats from this company. But they also do exotic meats, which are quite high in protein, which you don't normally find in our supermarkets. So because you're trying to get as much out of your protein and stuff, it's a good site. So it's a UK company. It's called Kenzie Foods. So
Right.
Kezie Foods. Check them out, honestly. Check out their exotic meat. So I highly recommend it. I used them for years when I was doing that diet, and I still buy stuff from them. They sell normal stuff as well, beef and pork and stuff, but you can also buy crocodile, kangaroo, ostrich, all that
Elk,
kind of stuff.
Moose, bear.
Yeah.
Elk meat, buffalo, goat meat, kangaroo, mouflon, ostrich, other alternatives, veal, African antelope, wild boar meat, and zebra meat.
Yep.
Mm.
The zebra and the horse
meat.
I don't. To be honest, I didn't like it. You know.
I used to love finless lasagnas. So the alternatives pictures is escargot. So I'll give that a pass.
Yeah. Giving them a bit of a free publicity there. There they go. They can have a plug. Please send me something for free if you see
to the
this.
Millions of viewers at the moment. Is that?
Yeah.
I've had goat meat. Well, I've not had it on its own. I've had a goat meat curry.
Yeah, goat curry is fantastic. Curried goat is the proper way of saying it.
You need some kind of strong flavor to cover up the goat flavor.
I've always felt goat's a little bit like goat's one of the only animals that kind of taste the way it smells. You know, it's like I think it does anyway. I like it though. I mean, I don't mind it. It's like cheese as well, like feta cheese. You know, it kind of smells a bit sheepy.
Don't be sheepish about your descriptions now. Beat you to it, CR.
Better than dried parmesan that smells suspiciously like vomit.
Yeah, but hey, that site they do food hampers, like meat hampers,
I'm looking at the KZ beef collection at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, great
Two
cuts.
sirloin, 2 ribeye, 2 wagyu beef quarter pounders, 2 wagyu beef spicy sausages, and a pack of diced wagyu beef.
Diced. That's because they didn't use the good steak parts and they had to make it smaller pieces, so you can't
AKA
tell.
the shit cuts, yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is, when I was on the keto diet, I got bored of just eating nothing but steak and basically fry up. I got bored of it.
The thing is, keto, you need your fats. And people say, oh, have healthy fats, eat avocados. Can't stand avocado. Can't eat avocados.
You need meat fat.
So I the best thing about keto is I can buy the cheaper chicken that's still got its skin on, that's still got the bone in, because I'll make a bone broth and I'll eat the skin and I eat the fat and stuff like that. I don't need this perfect fillet with all the fat trimmed off. So that's the good thing about it. Now I'm hungry.
I have to go freezer shopping later this evening so I can pack up for my 4-day trip out to my cabin and make sure I have all the good meats with me.
All the good meats. All the good goat.
Yeah, now CR get hungry.
Now CR is always hungry.
Yeah.
As he walks into the kitchen. Yes. CR walks into the kitchen.
Let's see. I need to see this. There we go. See, this is what I don't trust. Pork sausages, 75% pork on that site.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, because it's a sausage.
I know,
That's
but
good for a
you can get hex sausages are 97% pork.
Yeah, but it's not a sausage.
Yeah, what's the other 3%?
Just like, emulsifiers to make it goop together and seasoning.
Yummy.
The other 25% in this one's on the site, Alan said, is water, vegetable flakes, rice flour, salt, spices, stabilizer, E450, sugar, preservatives, E221, yeast extract, herb, antioxidant, and natural flavorings. Do you know what? I just buy a sausage maker and throw some real meat in it.
What is E? I don't even know what that is.
It's just excellent. That's what that means.
Yeah, that's like the word natural flavorings. Natural from what?
Yeah.
The dirt?
Gluten free.
I've got to admit, when I did the keto, I avoided sausages like that because there's not enough meat in sausages. That's why it's a sausage. But
well, I mean, I if I go and get the butcher's ones, you'd see. You can tell how much meat's in a sausage with how terribly it holds together. If you cut a sausage in half and it's a perfect round and it stays together, it probably is not 100% meat or anywhere close. If you cut it and it's like starting to fall apart, it's proper meat. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Good.
Can we stop talking about food? It's genuinely making me hungry.
And CR went to the kitchen. He's like, I'll be right back. He's like, I'm hungry.
The other good thing with keto is, I don't know if it's the same in the States, but for some reason here in the UK, the mince meat, the diced beef and stuff like that is double the price if you get the low, like 5% fat one. The cheapest one is 20 or 25% fat.
Because people think it's healthy, but it's actually the opposite.
Yeah.
you need fat. Your brain is fat, and you need salt for the electrical energy going on in your body.
Lidl do grass-fed
flavor. Fat is flavor.
Lidl do
go on a low fat, low salt
fat
diet and wonder why you're dumb.
Yeah. 20% grass-fed British beef out of Lidl. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's where I get it from. Yeah, I've got a little around the corner.
Like a 5 or something.
Wait, it's only 20% grass-fed. What do they eat for the other 80%?
No, it's 20% fat, but the whole animal is grass-fed.
Like 20% grass-fed. All right.
80% steroids.
They hang out behind a Chinese restaurant and eat out of the dumpster for the rest of the time.
The rest of the cow looks like the tree we were talking about earlier, where it's like half pork and half something else.
Yeah, it's got a pig coming out of its ribcage. What speciality meat this? Oh, this is man bear pig. There we go.
Man bear pig, yeah, it's a turducken. Yeah.
There you go. Red Prepper 666. Low fat mince tastes like shit. It's just dry. It's just so dry, man. No matter what you put it in. Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah.
That's where the flavour. I mean, original. I was looking up the proper recipe for a bolognese once, and it was talking about adding pork belly fat to it to make a proper ragu. Yeah, it's not just all. We're just used to adding nothing but like lean beef. You know, like, well, no, that's not how you do it. You know,
my sauce is usually 50-50 ground. I mean, I get whole pork loins, I grind it. I get whole beef, whatever, and I grind that, and it's 50-50 beef and pork, and then my tomatoes and everything else in there. So that's it's a really good flavor. I mean, my Italian neighbor would throw her red sauce. They called it red gravy. It was tomato sauce, but she would literally throw in whole pork chops. She'd brown them, throw a pork chop in there, bone and all, and sausages and whatever. And that was red gravy. And yeah, that went on your pasta, but you had chunks of meat that were cooked in the sauce for hours. It just fell apart. It was so good.
Nice. The missus doesn't like bolognese with beef, but I made a spag bol and I just used pork mince instead, not 50-50, but just fully pork. She loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do. I do it with chicken. You can do. I've done ground chicken, ground turkey. You know, for the wife, she likes it super lean. I'm like, whatever. So I'll do the turkey. Still, you can't even tell once all the tomatoes and all your seasonings are on there and the garlic and that. You can't tell it wasn't beef.
I tell you what I like. I like when you're in like the supermarket or in the butcher's or whatever, and people are picking the steak that has no fat running through it at all.
Right.
And that they're picking them out. And I'll go to the the reduced bit in the supermarket when they label it all down. And people are like, oh, that's got a bit of a weird color. Oh, that's got loads of fat through it. I found the perfect marbled steak there, reduced down, that everyone had bypassed because it looked too fatty. I was like, you're insane. This is going to be the best steak ever.
That site I'm telling you about, they do it's like Japanese marbled steak, you know, that wagyu. Or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
It's on there. They sell it, and it's quite good.
It's 50% fat, 50% meat.
Yeah,
that's really good. Yeah.
That's it. We're still talking about food.
Yeah. How'd we get there?
You see, you get hungrier and hungrier.
I got TikTok suckered in as well, by the way, on this same subject. I had to try something. Cut Extreme.
What is that?
So that's why I got it, to see what it was, because I used to sell supplements, right? But it turns out it's the same as the fat burners I used to sell. And mostly the bulk of the ingredient is green tea extract, which is really good for you. But I can't stand green tea, so they'll work. It's got biotin and all sorts of random little bits in, but it's I
like green tea.
I can't drink it.
Yeah,
I
like the green tea. I quite like it.
No, I can't do it. I can't any flavored tea. I can only do Earl Grey with no milk or English breakfast tea with milk. That's the lot. That's the extent of my tea. So all these fruit ones are just no. I need to try nettle tea because I'm, I need to try it because it would be in abundance if I do like it, but apparently it's horrendous anyway.
Yeah, it's not the greatest. You ever tried cabbage water?
Yeah, I don't mind cabbage.
You need to get some lemon balm or something growing around your house there and throw a couple lemon balm leaves in there, give it that lemony flavor.
I'll have to experiment. There'll be lots of me going.
Yeah. Just take a leaf and stick it in your mouth and chew on it for a second. Be like, yeah, I can do tea with this, but it needs something else.
I love fresh spinach, like not boiled, not cooked, not out of a can, like fresh spinach leaves. Love it. I can eat it by the fistful. And I had some on my plate, like my keto meal, and the little one came up, but I'd covered it. My entire meal was covered in hot sauce, just because I like really hot sauce. And she tried a leaf and she went, ran over to find a drink, came back 4 times to try it again.
Hot sauce will do that to you. It hurts, but it's good. I used to add my kids didn't know it growing up. Yeah, we're way off topic again.
Yeah,
but my wife would make them the Kraft macaroni and cheese out of the box.
Yeah,
and we always added. She would add like a couple slices of American cheese just to cheese it up, and they knew that. What they didn't know is we threw in like 3 or 4 drops of Frank's hot sauce. You couldn't
Yeah.
taste it. Didn't make it spicy. It just opened up the taste buds a little bit. And
Yeah.
for years, they had no idea until they're in college. And they're like, why can't we make your Kraft mac and cheese? My wife's like, you don't want to know what I put in it. They're like, what'd you put in it? She's like, hot sauce, Frank's. They're like, no. They're like, yeah. So she went out and bought hot sauce, put a couple drops in there. Her whole college dorm was doing the same thing in about a week.
Nice. I love Frank's. I get Frank's sauce all the time because that's what goes on my eggs.
Yeah. Oh, Frank's is great. It's sweet. You can about drink the stuff and a bottle of lemon juice.
I
I
just
used to
found
with chicken wings.
new sauce in the UK. If anyone doesn't know, do you know Brewdog, the craft beer company? They now do sauces and stuff, but I got their hot sauce. It's absolutely amazing.
I need to check
Made
that
with
out.
fermented beer.
I've put most of their kids through college. I think that's occasionally when you see me
It's-
having a beer
it's
on here.
beer.
That's what I'm drinking. Brewdog.
The Brewdog, yeah. Well, they're literally there's a shelf in Sainsbury's now, and it's about 7 or 8 different sauces. I got the buffalo wing sauce. It's a lot hotter than the cheapo buffalo wing sauce, but it's really nice. And on keto, the hotter the sauce, usually the less sugar that's in it.
Yeah, and we're still on food.
Yeah.
but to be clear, so Mike is part of the zero waste challenge. He buys the bottle of Frank's hot sauce, and not a drop goes to waste.
Nope. Well, it does go to waste, but once it's passed through me.
Well, that's different kind of waste. You can recycle that waste if you want to.
I've got a thing for plum sauce on rice at the moment. That sounds overly sweet for rice. Tactical
sounds like-
nuclear penguin beer for the win.
Gross.
Tactical nuclear penguin beer. What the?
That's it. Do you know when Brewdog first came out, they released a beer, and that was it. Tactical Nuclear Penguin. It was the strongest beer in the world. I think it's 40%, and they served it to you in a bottle that was wrapped in the skin of a squirrel or a stoat.
Nice.
True story. Because the original pub in Edinburgh is where you used to get it, and we went in there and we got a little glass of it. It's truly revolting.
32%.
Have you seen the bottle?
Wow.
Take a look at the bottle. Go to your images.
It's a stout. It's a
Yep.
stout. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, the bottle on here is just a black pattern design.
Oh, that's terrible. Take a look at the original ones, because it used to cost about 150 quid to buy a bottle of this stuff, but they gave you a cool bottle. Or you could go into
No.
the pub like I did and get a little shot of it.
Yeah, for 80 quid.
It was expensive, yeah, it was expensive, but it was because they marketed it as the strongest beer in the world. Everybody wanted to try it.
What, CR, how can you be hungry? You just went to the kitchen. I guess your kitchen is empty. You better start stocking up on some food supplies.
You think you should prep a bit more?
Yeah, you might want to start prepping a little bit other than buttons and wax from your cheese.
Does anyone brew their own? I think I
used to.
I keep thinking that might be a prepping skill to have in SHTF. I think a beer would be nice 6 months in. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, you just need the vessel to do it in and the ingredients and the stove and
Yeah.
Well,
I made
kits.
I made lots of fun beer back in the day. We made a Kahlua beer. It was beer. It was just a lager mix that we bought at the store, and we added. I think it was 6 liters. It was a 6-liter kit, and we added like a cup of instant coffee to it. You would get drunk and be wide awake at the same time.
Oh,
It was great.
That's like when they launched Red Square over here, which was an alcoholic, basically an alcoholic Red Bull drink when Red Bull was only just starting. And you'd drink all night and you wonder why you couldn't go to sleep. You'd be wired.
Yeah, you
I
used to
have
be able to
made
buy the
my
kits.
own beer once, and that was quite successful, actually.
Yeah, if you mess it up, the bottles explode. Because you can properly screw it up.
Yeah, well, a little too much. The fermenting was you didn't let it finish. It was still making CO2 and blow the caps off it.
I was going to say I made a whole batch of this this beer like years and years ago. Same flat I was talking about earlier. Actually, I was at a friend's barbecue, and I took it there, and we were talking about how we put it there because it comes in like a big container, and you add all the sugar and that kind of stuff. What I didn't realize, it was a terrible beer. It was the most disgusting tasting beer ever. And they were saying, well, where have you went wrong with the brewing? Something's went wrong here, and we figured out is like you're supposed to use quite good distilled water in order.
Yeah,
to
not
make
tap water with all the chlorine in it.
Yeah, they're like, did you use tap water? I was like, well, yeah. And they're like, where did you get the tap water? I was like, well, out the tap, obviously, but I can't reach the tap, so I just use the shower. It's like everybody at the barbecue is like, are we drinking shower water beer? I was like, well, it's just out the same tap, so it makes no difference. You know, I just undid the head of the shower and filled up the bucket that way, but I didn't realize, you know, the chlorine and stuff it can affect the brewing of the beer.
And there's
Okay, now I'm
easier
back.
stuff, isn't there?
I was
Like
eating.
is it mead that you can make quite easily? It's like fermenting with honey and stuff.
Yeah, mead is basically honey beer.
Yeah, very low alcohol though. Very low alcohol.
I mean, it's 6 months. Not after 6 months of not having a drink in SHTF, you know.
Oh, mead will be your thing if you can
tip me over the edge.
if you can find honey and some yeast. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
You can make slow gin from juniper berries and things like that as well, and really easy to find them.
You have to add gin, right?
For slow
No.
gin, yeah.
Yeah.
For slow gin, I
slow
think
gin,
you will.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you can make gin also, I think,
Yeah, out
Gin?
of juniper berries.
from juniper berries, but it's a bit more to it than just making the slow gin version.
Coming soon, UK Urban Prepper alcohol.
Really cool. Good to see.
Shower water.
drink at your own risk. It's just
Get your
Mike's
shower-
bottled bathwater.
Get your shower water beer here.
Get your shower water beer here. First come, first serve.
I actually remember when I was telling people at the barbecue I used the shower water, they're like, were you in the shower at the time you were making the beer? Because it tastes really terrible. I was like,
I just put it on the bottom of the tub while I was showering because I didn't want to waste that much water.
yeah.
Oh,
why is
can
there
you
a
taste that
hair
body?
in my beer?
has a little pecan flavor of lava soap in there.
Yeah. Wine is easier to
the
make, I
soap.
think. I think wine is easier to make than beer. You know. Then you can buy the kits on Amazon. You can buy the whole wine brewing kit, demi-johns and all. Very
Is that
easy.
it's there's no heating in that, is there?
No. Just crush your berries, strain them out through a fine mesh screen or whatever, not a screen, but like a bag, and put it in your bottle. Add your yeast, put your stopper on there. Just make sure everything's clean, and yeah, that's it. Let her go. Put the little bubbler cap on there so air doesn't get in, but the CO2 can escape. Let it go and bottle it up.
Yep.
Nice. There you go. We'll just be after the apocalypse, Alan. We're gonna have waxed cheese and lots of red wine. We're turning French. That's what the apocalypse is. We turn French.
With a side of shower water beer.
I'll pass.
That's not going to get old now. I'm going to remember that one for a long time.
Stay tuned for.
I still drunk it. I did
Of course you did. You made it. You're like, I made it. I'm drinking. It's got alcohol. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
After
Zero
the
waste.
After
I don't
the
wanna
third
waste it.
one, you couldn't taste it anyway. It didn't even
Zero
matter
waste.
anymore.
Red wine would be good to do because that still matures in the bottle, doesn't it? So it would last.
Not really in a bottle as much. It does more if you have it in like an oak cask,
Oh yeah,
or you have
yeah,
strips of oak dropped into the thing when you're fermenting it. That helps.
Yeah.
more to the fact it won't go bad within 12 months.
When
if
you-
it's
when-
bottled up,
right.
you know.
When you buy it as a kit, it comes in a can. The wine, and I remember you have to heat the can a little bit just to loosen it up, and then you pour it in that way. Because I remember as well, I made a beer, a stout, and it was kind of like a treacle almost, and you had to heat the can up.
Oh
until
yeah, it comes in like one of those metal oil cans from like
Yeah,
Foster's Lager. Yeah, that's the kits we used to get.
Yeah.
Yep, pour that in there. Beer, you had to heat it up and boil it and do stuff to it, and then you let it cool, and then you add your water, yeast things
Yeah.
at temperatures, and let her sit for a week or two. And You got your beer.
Scoob says at Mike the Bartertown Tavern. There you go. That's it. I think this is problem with my type of personality. It's like I get an idea and I'm like, right. So the garden's now going to be half finished, and I'm there going to be brewing in my garden.
I tell you, they make alcohol in prison cells. It's called toilet wine. You know, it's like,
I mean, I can't imagine it tastes great.
I bet it does the trick. You know, I bet.
Yeah, well, it depends what you're doing alcohol for, right? I mean, I've never drunk in my life for the objective of being drunk.
Or blind.
Or blind or anything like that. The objective when I drink is purely a social aspect. It's never been, I need to drink as much as I can.
To enjoy the flavour. Toilet wine or shower wine, probably not your bag then.
Yeah, whereas
that's the level I'm at.
my brother was the opposite of me, and before he'd go on a night out, he'd neck a quarter bottle of like the cheapest paint stripper vodka ever, just so it was cheaper for him on the night out because he'd already necked a half a bottle of vodka. That's not how I want to do my night.
Alrighty.
Hooch out of orange juice, says Grumpy Adventures. Oh, cider must be an easy one to make, right?
Yeah.
Lots of apples.
Lots of apples, skins. And
it won't taste like the chemical cider that I can't stand.
No, just throw it in your thing and it'll automatically, I mean, just the natural yeast on the apple skins will ferment. Just don't wash them off with a heavy detergent, so to speak.
The best ciders in the world are British. You know, we apparently have some of the best apple crops in the world. I don't actually like cider, so I don't drink it, but
I can't stand like Strongbow and the commercial ciders like that, but I had a bottle of the proper Scrumpy where you could see the sediment at the bottom and stuff like that. It was real apple cider. That was really nice. Yeah, that was really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, real good apple cider. Not a store, vineyard, not a vineyard, orchard that I go to. They make pear cider because they have a pear orchard and they have pear juice and pear cider, which is kind of weird, but because pears have that gritty, grainy type texture to it.
Yeah,
and the cider is the same way. It's like, all right, tastes good. I guess you could probably ferment it and make some kind of a pear hard pear cider.
In SHTF, you can make yeast from raisin or potatoes. Yeah,
raisins. Not raisins.
Nice.
Yeah.
These are the little nuggets of knowledge that you need to get hold of.
Yeah. How do you extract it though? How do you get the yeast from it? That's not something I know either.
Well, like potatoes, I have no idea. You just boil them and leave them in the water.
Right.
And it'll grow. It gets its own yeast. It's a different yeast. I don't know if I would try it. I mean, I guess you could try it to make bread, but pretty much yeast in general is all in the same genus. So you can make alcohol with bread yeast. Just doesn't taste that good. But you can make bread with wine yeast, special yeast for beer and wine. You can make bread out of that. It'll ferment and do the same things bread do, just has a different flavor to it.
Could be a little woodland experiment. I've got the little sachets of yeast that I make breads with when I'm out and about. It's just a little box that comes in little sachets, and they're really handy. But I've never tried to make anything other than bread with them. So maybe
throw some in, pick up some local apple cider and sprinkle a little yeast in there and leave the cap loose and shake it up every now and then and just let it sit there and bubble.
So also, I mean, it's a bit of a gap in my knowledge because there's maybe 4 or 5 breads that I like to make, and I think 3 of them need yeast, 2 of them don't, but at least 3 of them need yeast. And I say, well, I had this little sachet of yeast, but if I didn't have those sachets, where am I getting it? You know, so I mean, that's
making it in the wild on the go when you need it, maybe not going to happen.
Yeah, may have to use the
baking soda
methods
or baking powder, or just make flatbread matzah and call it a day.
Yeah, that's
no yeast, flour, water, salt. Throw it on a skillet. There you go. There's your bread.
Yep.
Here's a question that puts this on topic. It's obviously it's quite a do if you're getting all the demi joins and stuff like that to begin with. after that, do the ingredients cost a lot less than buying wine and buying beers and stuff? Do you think?
I'm sorry, for what?
Like for the all the buckets and crap.
You know, see when I did it, because I got into a little bit of a phase of doing it, and you buy all of this is when Wilco's was still open. You know the shop I'm talking about. You used to be able to go in there and buy like the beer bottles and the wine bottles empty, and you could buy the capper and all that kind of stuff, and you could buy the corks, you could buy the whole shebang, and I got the whole thing, but see, by the time you do all that, you're far cheaper just buying beer out of a supermarket. Far cheaper.
I imagine, what I'm saying is I imagine that the first time round, but then to do it again using the same equipment, is it going to be?
Yeah. Why would it be more expensive? You already bought all the base equipment, the bottles, depends if you get them back, the caps you have to buy. If you're going to do that, or you're just going to drink it out of the keg you made it in and call it a day.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, you use a lot of sugar. I realized that when you make your own sort of beer and wine, you use a lot of sugar, like bags of stuff.
Yeah.
And then it takes a time. There's a time period as well. It has to be relatively. I did it in an airing cupboard, but it was relatively climate controlled. It was quite good. But so a bit of an energy cost as well. But you'd maybe break even. I don't know. But it's not. I wasn't really doing it to try and save some money. I was just doing it as a
That's
fun,
why they call it a hobby,
thing.
not a business.
That's a hobby, yeah. I never got the bottles back. I used to always say, "Give me back the bottles," because the ones I had the metal thing, the cork with the plastic that you could seal them.
Like the Grolsch bottles.
Reusable. Yeah.
Grolsch bottles. Yeah.
It was so hard at the end of the night when everybody's half drunk on shower water, trying to collect these bottles up so I could recycle them. I ended up just buying more.
Half drunk on shower water. Oh dear.
Nope. CR's out. Wait.
Yeah.
See out? Yeah, he's out.
Yeah. You need to slide out. Probably to eat.
Yeah.
So what else can you salvage, save, and reuse, repurpose, and
I mean, I don't know if it's salvaging or saving, but I came across a channel the other day, and I've always thought it's not cost effective, but it seems to be getting that way now, of scavenging the gold out of older tech, older phones and stuff like that. And
that's an expensive process. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it used to be a case of the juice wasn't worth the squeeze, but I think the price of gold now, is it?
Yeah, there's not that much gold in an iPhone or any phone. There's gold in there. There's silver. There's other metals, but you need all the special chemicals to precipitate out the different metals and try to salvage that. So there is that.
I remember hearing a thing once that said in the future people will mine our landfills.
For phones and electronics. Yeah,
it would be a valuable resource to mine a landfill in the not too distant future, probably. But I think I'd imagine sort of like staying on the subject of what we're talking about. See if you understand the baseline of what you consume, just day to day. Not a lot of people know that. Not a lot of people know what their actual baseline of consumption is. Because everybody knows it's like, well, you need 2,500 calories, and you need this, and you need that, and they're just taking a metric that they've read somewhere about what the average person needs. But what do you actually? What is your actual calorie count right now?
Yeah, like the liters of water you need every single day to survive. And people are talking about, I mean, I don't drink that in peace times, never mind. Never mind in SHTF. It's
nonsense. I mean, the general rule of thumb is people generally say that you need between 2 to 3 liters per day per person, which covers sort of drinking, cooking, and hygiene. That's pretty wasteful. I mean, 3 liters is actually quite a lot of water if you're not having a bath. And I don't generally drink a lot of water. I drink a lot of tea, which has got water in it, I suppose, but you don't need as much as you actually need.
Yeah, so most of your vegetables and food have some kind of water content in them.
Yeah,
I mean, they make it sound like we're all hiking. We're going to be stranded in the desert in the blazing sun. You need 3 liters of water a day. No, you probably need more like 10, but yeah, I get it. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, I never drank 3 liters of water a day.
No, it's like Alan says. If people Google this is why these AI channels are pissing me off, because survival tips from ChatGPT. It's like no, just no.
Yeah, you need
no.
8 glasses of this or something, or you will die after 3 days if you don't drink, and all that's nonsense. But I mean, you could run your own baseline test just for do an audit of yourself, like over 3 days, 72 hours, and measure how much water do I actually use, how many calories do I actually eat, how much power do I actually use, and if you can work that over like a 3-day period, gives you a baseline then of where you're at.
If you're
personally.
if you're going to the gym every day for 4 hours, yeah, you're going to need water. You're going to be sweating it out.
Yeah.
But if you're just trying to stay low and out of the way, you're not exercising a lot, you're not going to be burning the calories, and or the water is not going to evaporate as quick. You're not going to burn it out, pee it
if
out.
You're just a survivalist on your sofa, then
Yeah, there you go.
Just chilling.
I got freeze dried water. I'm good.
It's the same. I think it's the same with food and stuff like that. It's like the calorie markers and everything. It's all base. It's a lot of crap. It's a lot of crap. If all 4 of us here, different heights, different body masses, different body types, there's no way we all need exactly the same amount of calories. Different lifestyles, the lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now they just do the general average. The people who need 20 liters a day, and the person who's the short person that only weighs 80 pounds, that only needs maybe a half a liter a day, because their body mass is so small. But they just average it all together and say, 3 sounds good.
Yeah. I'm following this calorie control diet. I'm only having 1,400 calories a day. I know, but you're 3'6". That's why you're not losing weight.
And you sit on a sofa and watch videos all day long.
Yeah. This woman on YouTube that was on a Stairmaster told me I'd lose weight if I had this many calories. It's nice.
It's the calories in, calories out. I mean, that's no diet it doesn't matter what diet you're on. If you can literally consume less calories than you burn, then eventually you lose weight. That's just physics.
It's the law of thermodynamics. Yeah, it's just simple as that.
Yeah.
But if imagine like a lockdown scenario, we're not saying it is a lockdown, but if it was SHTF and we've got all our stuff prepped and hoarded and we want to bug in for 30 days, you ain't going to be doing all that much activity. If you're necking 2,500 calories every single day for 30 days doing nothing, you're going to come out the other side of the apocalypse and struggle to get out your front door. So,
and plus, really, I mean, if you know your genuine baseline, as in your baseline of how many calories do I burn doing what I need to do day to day to survive, you want to try and keep your calorific intake as close to that baseline as possible, because if you're even just a few calories below it, you're slowly starving to death. You're not on a diet, you're just dying because it's SHTF. But if you're above that, you're just wasting calories. Because you're putting weight on then slowly. So you want to be as close to the baseline as possible, but you need to know the baseline. And it definitely will be different based on the activity and what you're doing. Even if there was 2 people in the household, same age, same build, but one was doing all the work and the other one was just chilling. Yeah, one's burning calories, one isn't.
Yeah. It's just...
Well, I think it's time to wrap things up now, guys.
Yep.
No.
Sounds like a plan. No, we're talking. You can stay on. I still got to cut the grass here before the wife gets home, because I'm leaving tomorrow. And it's 6 p.m. and still got sunlight, so I'm good.
Yeah, it's midnight in Sweden, isn't it? Is it midnight there, Shadow?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it is.
He's going to sleep in the morning. He'll be up at 6 instead of 4.
So it's not the end of Saturday's live stream. Welcome to Sunday's live stream. We are just beginning.
Yeah.
I need my beauty sleep.
Right. I'll jump off and let you all say your goodbyes and stuff like that. So it's been a pleasure, gentlemen, and I'll speak to you all soon.
Yeah,
Thanks,
catch you later, Mike, and I'll jump off as well.
Thank you, Mike, for stopping by. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, Shadow. That was fun.
And you too, Alan. Always nice to have you.
Thanks for using my idea. I appreciate it. That's why I've been here the entire. Last week I missed the whole thing. I was like, holidays, bugging out.
Yeah, I know.
Did you have anybody on last week? I think you cut it short, didn't you?
Yeah, 3 hours because I had to drive my missus to the church for the mass, Easter
Midnight
mass.
Yeah. Oh, Easter
Yeah.
Mass. That's right. It was Easter weekend.
Yeah,
All right. Well, thank you again, and I'll catch you next week.
will do.
All right. Have a good night.
Good night. Okay, guys, take care. Stay safe. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. And I will see you next week, same time, same channel. And don't forget, be part of the solution, not the problem. Stay safe. Take care. God bless. And we are out.